Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is Oz, the HBO series from 1997, the review of the series. Now, this is continuing along the line of some of my favorite television shows that I've been talking about and doing reviews, kind of going back and rewatching some of my favorite shows and coming back and coming here and talking to you guys about what I think about it. And tonight we're going to look at Oz. Holy crap. I've been anticipating this for a while. This is one of the first shows, hour-long dramas I got way into. And since I started the channel, I've been flirting with the idea to get to Oz, to put myself in Emerald City for a little bit and discuss what the fuck happened in those seasons of Oz. But I've been stalling a while, but I'm finally here to do it. And I'm not going to be alone. I'm definitely not going to be alone. I'm going to have some friends, and I can already kind of see them out of the side eye of my eye. It is, everybody, the live motherfucking chat. Where the fuck are they? Where's the live motherfucking chat? The broke black man is here. I never saw Oz, but I'm here for you. Welcome, broke. Welcome to anyone else that happens to pop in here. If you have any thoughts about the HBO series Oz, please share them in the comment section below. If you're watching this later, if you're watching us live, jump in the live motherfucking chat. Share your thoughts about Oz. If you have any comments you want to get in the show, please call in at 781-990-8509. You can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Leave a voicemail or a text on that line if you want to make sure I get your comment about this incredible fucking series. Now, I think in the pantheon of all the HBO series, it's one of the ones that kind of gets forgotten about. And part of that is, well, we'll get into that. Part of that is the way that the show is set up. Part of that is because of when it came out and what came after that and what everything meant. And without Oz, we may not be in the place we are right now for television. Not to mention naked men. Every Law and Order actor you've ever wanted to see, you can see naked on Oz. So it's many reasons to go back and watch Oz. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this shit. Watch out for the demons. Watch out for the demons. Watch out for the demons. Now, what the fuck is Oz? Oz has nothing basically to do with the whole Wizard of Oz, although it does get referenced a couple of times throughout the series. Oz is an American drama series created by Tom Fontana, who also wrote for all 56 episodes of the one-hour dramatic television series, premiered on the HBO network on July 12, 1997. It ran for 6 seasons. The finale ran on February 23rd, 2003. So what the fuck is Oz? Oz is a prison drama, but it's not really even just a prison drama. Excuse me. It's the first HBO hour series. It's what transitioned HBO, into the network that we know today. It was the first real hour-long programming to push the envelope. And really, all the things that they did in Oz, we can get into every single thing. Any show that was to come to follow after Oz could never be as shocking as some of the things that happened. But Oz wasn't necessarily a realistic show either. There was a narrator. It was set up almost in the sense of a stage show, where every episode you'd have Augustus Hill. I have the actor's name around here in a second. When I get to characters, I will say his name, but his name is Harold Perizin, he's also in Oz. He plays Michael on Lost. Michael on Lost. He was in the Romeo and Juliet movie, the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet movie, playing Mercutio. He kind of is your narrator for most of the series. And he sets it all up, sets up the scene, sets up a different theme. Sometimes it's convoluted and has nothing to do with the events that are going on in the episode. Sometimes it's a direct one-for-one. And then we see these little... Season 1's a little different in this sense, but post-season 1, you see, and even in season 1, you see these little vignettes, these little mini scenes, but based around singular characters that you meet coming into prison. And you follow each character coming into prison and follow their adventures, so to speak, until they reach their fucking end and end up dead. The whole series starts with following a character named Tobias Beecher. You might know Tobias Beecher from Wayne's World as the stoner passed out in the back seat, but he's our de facto main character, even though essentially there is no main character in Oz. The prison is the main character, but there's a lot of very popular. Some could argue that the character of Keller is the main character, the character of O'Reilly, the character of Saeed, the character of Adebisi at times. So many different moments. The character of Hill, of Pinto's character there, Harold's character. Many people could be viewed as the lead character. I guess if you have to say from the way the Oz started and finished throughout, it is in a sense Beecher's journey, but there is still so much more to it. Let me go into the live motherfucking chat and jump on here. We got LT in the live chat, the great guy LT. Wait a second, where is Adebisi and how does that hat stay on his fucking head? Laugh my ass off. If you like Law and Order shows, be prepared to never look at it the same way. Same with like watching a movie like Juno, where Juno's dad, played by J.K. Simmons. We're gonna get into Vern Schillinger, who, in a lot of ways, is one of the breakout most memorable characters on the show because of how evil and crazy and awful of a human being he is, and all the things he puts Beecher and so many other people through, and just being the prick. No one plays a prick like him. And sometimes when the movie came out, I always blank on the name of this movie, the movie where he plays the drum coach, fucking Rimshot, or whatever the fuck it's called, with Miles Teller. I can never remember the name of this movie. And he's playing an asshole for the first time. People are like, J.K. Simmons can play this kind of character. Anyone who's seen Oz thinks to themselves, you ain't seen nothing till you seen Schillinger. Oh, Beecher. I respect Law and Order, but not a big fan. Crazy poor Toby. Augustus was very deep at times. He made you think a lot. And that's why every episode was set up as a morality play of sorts. So much I can go as the beginning statements of what I liked about Oz. I liked how it made me never, ever, ever, ever want to go to prison. Ever. It scared the living shit out of me because I would not survive a fucking moment in there. Oz is set up around a fictitious prison called Oswald State Penitentiary. And most of our focus is done on a experimental unit called M-City, shortened for Emerald City, which is a little bit more, prisoners get a little bit more freedom. They're in pods instead of cells. They get a little bit more, they work, they're more active parts of the community. And that is ran by a guy named McManus. But the overall warden of the prison is Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, which is ultimately why I started watching the show to begin with. When I saw previews for it, I said, oh shit, wait. Winston's in this? I'm watching this show. Winston's in the fucking show. And I was just completely blown away by what you see. B.D. Wong is also a very huge part of the show, talking about Law and Order actors or people that are in Gotham later. I forget the actor's name that plays Miguel Alvarez, but he's been in a lot of things as well. In fact, he kept being in different things, and we all know friggin' Keller over there, whatever the fuck his name is. I'm blanking on it right now. I should have these names in front of me right away. Christopher Meloni, who I love and I think is a very underrated actor, kills it on Oz. And he ended up leaving the show to be on Law and Order SVU, but then was so upset missing out on Oz that they brought his character back in. I rewatched the series recently. Oswald, LT, the dance with Saeed and Adebisi is one of the epic scenes. I don't care. We don't care. Whatever it is, they start dancing. Oz is on Amazon Prime until the middle of next year if anyone wants to watch it without an HBO Go subscription. And the name of that movie is Whiplash. Thank you, LT. Summer camp. And this is what I wanted to bring into it. Oz also has, in threat of a better way of saying it, a supernatural aspect to it, mixed with some of Hill's, some of Augustus's way he talks, some visions that people can have, some moments, everything to do with Dylan McKay's character, Luke Perry, who was on the show as well. I think ultimately, though, everything to do with Agamemnon talking to God or having visions at different times or being prophetic, I think ultimately it's more about the bounds of the human mind, and when you're in the boredom, we're in this place when it's hell called Oz, how your mind will do anything to keep you interested, and seeing how you create this magic, you create this thing. It's almost, in a sense, not in a good way, but as when you're a child and you have this limited perspective, you're sealed in your house, you're sealed in this universe, and you have to make up all these avenues and all this bigger mystery, this bigger magic to it all. And when you're in a place like Oz, especially when you're there in some ways for the rest of your life in some of these cases, or for a long time, there's nothing left to do but imagine that you talk to God, imagine that you can see Reverend Cloutier talk to you in your cell or something like that. We get the bass player from Suicidal Tendencies in this on Oz as well, playing Chaz Hoyt, which I don't know is a precursor to Stevie Van Zandt, or actually I think it happened later. Also, a very big character at the beginning of Oz is played by Edie Falco, who plays a guard there, Diane Weasley. Not Weasley. She's not in Harry Potter. In Weasley. Patriotus! And she plays a big part on Oz for a few seasons until she obviously gets the Sopranos role, and they sort of write her character off in between seasons. Oz is an excellent show, specifically for me anyways, for the first 3.5 seasons. Oz season 1 is almost near perfect. Season 2 of Oz is perfect to me. Season 3 of Oz is fucking perfect as well. Season 4 is half and half. The first half of season 4 leading up to the big thing, there will be Oz spoilers here, people. There will be Oz spoilers if you've never seen it. Leading up to the big climax between Saeed and Adebisi and all of that. Post that, when Burr Reddings comes in, Omar starts coming in, the show doesn't quite reach the heights I think it does previous. I think the second half of 4 and 5 are a little weak, and the last season has its highlights, has its moments, but, or the other way around. Then when what happens with Saeed happens with Saeed, sort of by the end, the show in its beauty was also a punishment of it. There was anything positive about it. Every episode edited negatively. Nobody had a happy story except for maybe one character that got off on a technicality and ran the hell out of prison. Everything ends really dark, really low. Every episode does. A cousin of mine I used to watch Oz, and my friends didn't like to watch it. I'd sit there at night and watch episodes of Oz and be like, oh my God, this show is fucking amazing. And my cousins, a couple of my friends would watch. And we'd get to the end parts of the episode, and they would just be like, this is a fucking bummer. Everything kind of dries out. And then as it gets into seasons 4 and 5 and 6, it gets a little bit more outrageous, a little less based around reality on some level. I still love the show. It's engaging, but I feel like it got pushed too far. And part of that reason is due to The Sopranos, and due to the fact that The Sopranos were had to go on break for a while because of what happened with the actress that played Olivia Soprano that died. So they demanded, HBO asked very sternly for Tom Fontana to push season 4 into 2 parts and give him more Oz rather quickly, which kind of made them have to push the edge a little bit. Look at Al, Red Sox fan. Holy shit. Here we go. Yeah, she should have left that nag toady for a long time ago. There's so many great characters in this show. We got Tim in there, oh my God, who didn't feel for Alvarez, because Alvarez is somebody that got so close. We're going to get into that all. But ultimately, what Oz is really important for, what I think is ultimately the theme song. Fuck copyright. Yeah! Show's called Oz. Naked Man. Show's called Oz. Naked Man. Show's called Oz. Naked Man. Ooh. And just ultimately one of the best casts in all of TV. It's just, from beginning to end, it just has such a packed cast. And especially when you consider where everybody went to after Oz eventually ended. So, fuck, I closed my window. I have no clue what I'm doing. Why is Oz important? Why do I give a shit? Why am I talking about a show that debuted in 1997? What? What are you telling me? You're telling me my thing is... Okay, there it is. You're telling me my thing is empty. Holy balls, getting too nostalgic over here. Remember how the guy in the wheelchair died but was stubborn and kept narrating and giving exposition? He's like, did you really think I was dead? Here I am, I'm back. I can't lie to you guys, it's super fucking hot in this office. And I can't open a window because I'm loud and obnoxious and I'll disturb the fucking neighbors. So I'll drink beer until I don't care. But Oz, I started watching Oz because of Ernie Hudson, almost by accident, watching other HBO shows. One of the early HBO shows I watched was this show called Dream On, which was a softcore porn, almost on the verge of that. It was one of the first HBO series I kind of watched. I was partial to watching new programming on that. I heard this show was coming on the Oz. I saw that Ernie Hudson was in it. I was a big fan of Ghostbusters, and Ernie Hudson was, I loved Winston. I just wanted to see more of him. So I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, he's in a TV series. I will check that out. Now, Corey says Oz kind of paved the way for all HBO series. I'd go a step further and say it paved the way for long-form storytelling in our programs. It was a precursor. It was ahead of our time because nothing about Oz was episodic except for Hill's monologues and how Augustus Hill kind of put together each episode. Ultimately, every episode of Oz was like a soap opera, leading one beat to another beat to another beat, and these long-form stories, something in some cases that lasted 6 seasons, like the Vern and the Tobias storyline that just kind of carried through. It influenced a whole generation of television by being way ahead of its time and by breaking ground that other shows didn't have to by what it could get away with on the show. Nothing The Sopranos could really do could ever be more shocking than what Oz did. It knocked down those avenues, and without Oz, we wouldn't have had The Wire, we wouldn't have had Breaking Bad, we wouldn't have had Mad Men, we wouldn't have had Game of Thrones even. And ultimately, it doesn't get its credit. And why do I think it doesn't get its credit? I think when you watch it back compared to something like The Wire or The Sopranos, watching it back, it seems a little bit more dated. There's no HD version of it that's been released, or a Blu-ray version or anything like that. HBO has not remastered it or done anything like that, which is a fucking shame. Also, it almost watches, and I mentioned this earlier, as a stage play. Like you're watching a stage play on screen. And it can be off-putting initially. And there's a lingo. It's one of those shows that's almost impossible to start in the middle as well. You watch an episode of Oz in the middle, you'd be completely lost. Something like The Sopranos, for instance, or even Breaking Bad, there's definitely episodes that can set up, okay, this is what's going on here, this is what's going on there. Oz is a very inclusive show, so it doesn't pave well for people that are just like checking out an episode here, checking out an episode there. It also isn't very buzzworthy. There's a lot of big, crazy moments that happen on it, but it's not something that ever really turned eyes at the time that it was on. It was more like, holy shit, this show's on right now. HBO's doing this and that. Another thing, it got relatively good ratings, but nothing spectacular, and it kind of puttered out throughout. But HBO sort of protected the show and coveted the show for a while and really let them do what they wanted to do regardless of how effective they were at getting people in to watch it. Phil, do you remember a show on HBO? I think it was called Dream On. I used to use... Yeah, I was literally just talking... Eventually you'll catch up to me. I think the timing's off. But yeah, he would flash back on an old movie and television clips. And ultimately, there would always be some sort of naked woman in every episode. So, and it was shocking. It was one of the only shows to really not sway away from some, like, serious shit. And when I say serious shit, I mean there was a scene where this guy Alvarez shit all over his hand and started drawing over the cell because he was in solitary. drinking piss, throwing shit away. Some fucked up shit happened in this series. Someone bit off someone's dick. Someone defecated in someone's face. And that was all one guy. A person was put into a wall that, for like sealed in on a wall. And eventually there was an explosion and a gas leak and exploded him out of the wall. Till he was burned in a bed and could only click. And then he was suffocated and disappeared again and buried again. Fucked up shit. People were shot. There were guns. There were riots. Lord of the Last Hearth is in here. We got Al Red Sox fan. We got Timo. We got all of our good friends as we are here the last 2 weeks leading before the premiere of Game of Thrones season. And here I am talking about another HBO series. And that's why, again, this is important. Oz ultimately did pave the way for the era of television that we live in. And if it wasn't for Oz and Tom Fontana, he doesn't get the credit. A lot of people pass that credit on to The Sopranos. And I appreciate that. David Chase is exceptional. The Sopranos were great at what they did. And I think I do like The Sopranos better. I love Oz. It's in that list. I don't know. When I finally do my top 10 television series of all time, we'll get into that and we'll see where it ranks out. But Oz was first. Oz broke the ground. Oz was the one. Oz planted the flag there. Oz was Neil Armstrong and fucking The Sopranos was Buzz Aldrin. Mm-hmm. Even The Wire, which definitely did the worst in ratings of all the types of series that you can talk about now. Talk about the past HBO series. The Wire was basically kept on the air for HBO just because they really liked the series, even though people weren't really watching it. Historically has grown in people's appreciation for it. It's built up. Whereas something like Oz has shrunk. And I just wonder why that is. Is it because so many of the actors on it have gone to do completely different things and are more synonymous with other characters? Excuse me, the Law and Order universe, Spider-Man, Gotham, so many other shows that these characters have been on in movies and other kinds of things. That Oz kind of gets forgotten about, where something like The Sopranos, every Soprano actor is iconic in their role. And even on The Wire, you see Bob on The Walking Dead or something. You're like, oh, that's fucking, that's the dude for The Wire. So I don't know why Oz doesn't get remembered as, is it because it's so shocking? Is it because it's sort of so dark and there's nothing, but like I said, buzzworthy about it? I don't know. Because to me, it has everything. It's very funny, too. Within all of it, there's extreme humor. I think that's what carries me through in Oz. If you look through it, look within the dialogue, within each character's interactions with each other, there's exceptionally funny parts with so many different characters and so many different moments. And I think that's one of the great balances of Oz. It balances these intense, dark fucking moments with this intense, dark humor that balances it off really well. Are all the performances amazing on it? No, they have some guest actors that pop in here and there for one-offs that you're like, okay, and you can't wait for this character. When you're rewatching it, you can't wait for this character to die here, so they bring in another character there. There's, just to go even how dark this show can get, there were characters that ground up glass and put it into someone's food to kill them slowly over time. That's some shit that fucking Gus Fring does to Hector. It is a shame because it is one of the best shows of all time. I think it deserves its due in that conversation with all those other great HBO series. Ultimately, so many other HBO series from this era or post this era get more buzz attention than Oz. 6 Feet Under, Deadwood, all great fucking shows. But Oz, to me, has a charm and has a uniqueness to it in a way that no other series has really done. Part of that is the direct breaking the fourth wall stuff of Augustus Hill and some other characters along the way too, and all those little vignette moments that break up the show. I think gives it a kind of different feel than a lot of other stuff, like prisoner 9508, Ryan O'Reilly. Reckless abandonment. You know, like all those little breaks in the action and then like the little skits that they do in between scenes that are almost, I'm not going to say they're not Austin Powers like, but they are in a sense where you see Hill saying something and you see all of the main players, like a big theater group, are all acting out parts behind him, and they're different characters doing different moments. One of those things as a kid, I didn't pick up on all those little parts. I would just be like, okay, Hill, get to the next part. But on rewatches, Hill as the Greek chorus of the show, reflecting the morals and the motives and the bullshit and the fucking and the whatever goes on in every individual scene, all that stuff adds so much, adds this different dynamic to Oz that you really don't get with anything else that's occurring to me right off the bat. Many shows have like attempted to do stuff like that, but it's more of a movie trope at times, or more of a musical kind of break the fourth wall kind of stuff, or a sitcom thing even that's brought into it and done in a very dramatic way. And I love it. I love it, and it works so well on the show. I know everyone loves Deadwood, but seriously, the speech pads was like William Shakespeare wrote Tombstone. And LT says, that's what I was talking about. Ryan O'Reilly was the little finger on the show. That was one of the best parts about with Hill there. Dino Ortolani, just one episode, but such a great character. And that's the thing, Winter Design. Also, I talked about the one-offs from a negative standpoint. There's also so many one-offs from a positive standpoint. The crossovers that we get from The Wire that just come over for like one episode. Characters that were introduced in that first episode with Ortolani. And what a way to start the series right off the bat, following a character that seems tough as nails and seeing how quickly the place like that can break him down. So many characters will come in just for a moment that you imagine there could be the guy, again, for another Gotham actor, the guy who played Falcone in Gotham came in for like one episode or a couple of episodes as the general or something that was working with Burr Redding. And it's just like he's in there for like a couple of episodes things until he fucks with Morales, and then shit goes crazy. Morales, another amazing character that just creates so much gravitas whenever he's fucking on screen. It's just unbelievable how many great moments are on this show and how many great relationships. But why is Oz so underrated? I'm curious what some of the people in the live motherfucking chat think about that. What is it about Oz that doesn't make it quite as commercially or just widely spread? Is it the dick? Is it the too much dick? Is it just the dark themes? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Ultimately, it's almost in some ways at times a scared straight kind of show. It's like you watch it and you're like, I never want to be in this place. Boardwalk Empire was pretty good. I didn't necessarily love how Boardwalk ended. I thought it ended kind of quick. But Boardwalk at its best is a very, very charming show. Oh, Edie Falco. I thought they kind of shit the bed with that. I was just saying that, Corey. I thought they shit the bed with the last season of Boardwalk as well. Edie Falco is an amazing actress. One of the most underrated. Even though she wins a lot of awards and shit, she's still underrated. On The Sopranos, as Carmela, so hateable, so wonderful, so memorable. Oz, Diane Weasley is Weasley. I've got Harry Potter in the brain. Weasley is such a different kind of character from Carmela, completely different. And then you go to fucking Nurse Jackie, which I'm just starting to watch some because Steph's getting way into Nurse Jackie, and she's even another layer of a character. Carmela Soprano, there, Edie Falco has some exceptional range as an actress, and I feel like she's one of those kind of like you're lucky if you get the gravitas of her on a show, and I think she kills it on Oz at the beginning and adds a definite dynamic to those first few seasons of Oz that you lose somewhat at the end. You get it back a little bit with what's the guy's name, the Irish guy, Murphy, that comes in. I think he's really good at that job too. And then you get a couple of the Dave Brass storyline with the Rick Fox and the basketball stuff. That's kind of interesting with the guards. But I think Wellesley adds so much because of Edie Falco. She is a great actress, Lord. I think it was tough the first few episodes, but wow, I loved Rome. Rome's another series that is very, I think Rome and Oz and stuff like that equal us being in a world where we have Game of Thrones as widely accepted by HBO when it came in. Like, oh, bring that shit to us. But yeah, definitely about that. Dino left a mark. Oz was the bridge from your LA Laws to The Sopranos. Nurse Jackie was fucking good too. She is amazing on that show. She really kicked some serious ass. So where did Oz also, like I said, I think dropped off a little bit in the last seasons. It was more of what else can they do? So the show kind of twirled on a little bit more in the supernatural kind of stuff that was going. Holy fucking shit. Timo, thank you so much for the super chat donation. You are fucking amazing. I fucking love you. Thank you. You keep us going. But you know what time it is when you do the super chat? You get a wheel spin. So let's spin the wheel. Spin the wheel, Timo. Spin the wheel. No whammies. Much love. And let's see. And that, of course, is a moment when Toby and Ryan had that sort of weird relationship in season 1 where Ryan, unlike some of the other people that were taking advantage of Toby, kind of shows right from the beginning that, and even in all of Ryan's craziness and his manipulation, he does have a soft spot, and he starts smoking joints with Beecher and stuff like that and sharing drugs with him in his way of helping him cope with the realities of prison. And ultimately Beecher tries to fuck with him one too many times and kind of like warn him off about something, and Ryan's like, listen, Beecher, don't fuck with me, motherfucker. But Timo, thank you so much for the donation. Lots of love to you. Lots of love to you in your house. I was listening to Timo last night on a stream. Loving every minute of it, Timo. Oz was Game of Thrones in the 90s regarding violence and sex and everything. It did not shy away from straight up gang rape, things that happened to Shabetta's kid there. What was Shabetta's son's name there? Ryan was the GOAT. The way that Ryan ran through Oz, the fact that he was one of the leaders in the riot without ever having any full affiliation of any of the crews, the fact that Ryan able to manipulate and slip and slide his way all the way through survival to the end of Oz, Ryan O'Reilly owns that place. He's just a survivor. I love how they play his character, and he definitely goes through his ups and downs and makes some crazy moves and decisions. That's one of those things I always wonder about O'Reilly decision. Did he pay someone? Did he pay the guy to rape Dr. Nathan? I know he paid to kill Nathan's husband, but did Ryan also get the guy to rape Dr. Nathan, or no? No, he killed him after the fact. But it's just they set it up really weird too, where he's so vengeful and he has these angry moments, but he also has these moments of care dealing with his brother Cyril and all of that stuff. The world is desensitized. People were clutching their pets. Remember the female guard who got to see? Oh yes, what was her name? Her name was what was her name? She came in actually and started dating McManus. Then when McManus broke up with her, she filed like sexual suit against him, and then she started fucking the guard, and she eventually got pregnant. What was her fucking name? I have it written down somewhere as we get into the characters. It's not just TV, it's prison shanking and dragons and vampires, mobsters, some guy named John in Ohio or something like that. Ryan told him, I got moves, man. I definitely got moves. I never took it in the ass. Never. Fucking Ryan, fucking Riley, man. Great to see everyone in the live motherfucking chat tonight here on a Sunday night. We're 2 weeks away from Game of Thrones. I will be back here 2 weeks from now talking about the Game of Thrones with some of my friends. Still not sure exactly who will be joining me on premiere night, but some combination of some of our crews from last season. So I hope you guys join us, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But let's continue on this Oz situation. So again, why is Oz so underrated? It is a good question. Also want to mention, we do have the phone and the text lines open if anyone has any specific comments or questions they want to get in. 781-990-8509. 781-990-8509. So let's go through our characters and talk a little bit about each character. And go through individuals here. And I just have the fucking wiki article, and we can go through them all. Our main actor, the lead number one on the list, is Ernie Hudson, Warden Leo Glenn, who I don't necessarily like how his end went, but he's in there for almost every single episode of the series without spoiling too much. I thought Ernie Hudson was fucking tough as shit. You never quite knew where you stood with him. He had a very hard line and didn't take shit from anybody, had his own personal grudges, was definitely a flawed man. I think in some ways it was some of the best acting Ernie Hudson did in his entire life and entire career. I think he's always good in everything, but he had such a good arc with everything that happened to his daughter, everything that happened in the mayoral run or for the lieutenant governor run that he was doing, and just every nook and cranny of battle that he had with some of his staff members or some members of the prison, like with Alvarez, his whole interaction when he made Alvarez just stand in his office and was fucking, and Alvarez was like, are you fucking with me? And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking with you. Just how he could be Ernie Hudson, be the guy you know from Ghostbusters, and then at moments be so fucking frightening as Leo Glenn, too, and seeing things from the prisoners' perspectives. So I think he, in some ways, was the captain of the ship, being the warden of the prison. But also, I just think the seriousness of which he took his part kind of was a trickle-down effect with all the other actors, and just he sets the tone. And I think I talk about Oz. I'm saying this word a lot tonight, but I think it's apropos about everything about fucking Oz. Underrated. Ernie Hudson is an underrated actor. He has fucking skills, and he shows them the fuck off in Oz. Some great work was happening. Silly little stupid thing. I've talked about this before. I went to one of those comic convention thingamahoochies where they had the whole it was a big Ghostbusters thing where Ernie Hudson was there with a couple of his kids and doing all the setup and dressed up in the Ghostbusters stuff. Had the Ecto 1 car there. I think it was actually Ecto 2, but whatever. Everyone's up there asking him Ghostbuster question after Ghostbuster question over and over again. Maybe a couple people are asking him Crow questions. I run up to him. I'm like, Warden Leo Glenn, holy shit, fuck, don't put me in the hole. And he just loses it and laughs and just goes into this long discussion about Oz and how he got the part. Tom Fontana worked on St. Elsewhere, and he got Oz. He liked Oz so much. He brought his son in, who played one of the Muslims that got killed in the ring with fighting Sarah, was Ernie Hudson's son. And yeah, Oz is one of the happiest times of his career, and he really loved the work that they all did there. And yeah, so that's my little fart story. Ernie Hudson was flirting with Stephanie the whole time. He's like, that's the only reason he talked to me, so he could hug her like 3 times. Then we stayed in the same hotel he did, and then he hugged her again in the elevator. No lie. He's like, oh, hi. And he's like, hey. He goes, hey to me, and then he grabs her. He goes, hi, and hugs her. I'm like, oh, it's okay, Ernie Hudson. Can I play with your proton pack? It's fucked up. Warden Glenn kicked fucking ass. And excuse me for 1 second. I am sweating like a dirty man here. I know you guys don't want to hear that. I'm sweating like I'm in the hole here. I got some issues. I need to run in the other room for 1 quick second. I'll be back. Okay, not too long. I just need I need to pat off the sweat. Thinking about Oz gets me all hot and bothered because of my fear. But ultimately, if I ended up in Oz, which hopefully I would never do, but there is kind of a dude in Oz, that ends up in Oz in one of the stretches of the episode, that ends up coming in with all the edible weed treats, and he's just like, dude, here I am in Oz. I'm like fucking stoned and shit, dude. Things don't end good for him. Things definitely don't end for him at all good. Peter Criss from Kiss was in Oz. Useless facts. Interesting. And then we have the suicidal tendency guy, and we got a Kiss guy. There's a couple of other crossovers. The 90210 actor. It's such a hodgepodge of talents being on Oz. Yeah, I popped the Molly too soon. Mm-hmm. Or D-tabs is what I think they call it on Oz. Thank you so much, Timo. Again, one last time, huge thank you for your super chat donation. You are amazing. Okay, our next character that we'll talk about here is McManus. Now, McManus necessarily wasn't one of my favorite characters, but I like how flawed of a person he was. I like how almost right off the bat we see him smoking a joint in the scene at one point, and just talking about that gives me technical difficulties. He has some interesting storylines. I like when he starts to go crazy and there's the funeral of the guard and he starts singing Danny Boy at the funeral and shit like that, and he starts losing his mind. He's not my favorite part of the show, and some of his self-righteous bullshit I can get behind. Some of the prisoners that are trying to deal with him. He's more balls than brain. He tries to fuck everybody. He plays into his stereotypes pretty well about being a philandering fucking asshole and an agitator. And I think he's serviceable in the part. He's not necessarily my favorite part of the whole show, but I think he does a good job. McManus. Anytime, my friend, if you want to leave a message, anytime. So I definitely think he is good. He is good, especially at the beginning, and and he definitely has a good arc throughout the series. But he's not necessarily one of the moments like when it's a McManus scene. I'm not like, okay. He's very whiny. Maybe he reminds me too much of me. He's so whiny and complaining. Tim was okay. Yeah, Tim says Tim was okay. Yeah, he's okay. There's nothing horrible about him, but it's just there's so many better characters on the show. Hbo says it perfectly. You understood where he was coming from, but after a while, you're like, shut the fuck up. After a while, you're just, whoa. You're like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Tim. The next character on this list is Augustus Hill. Now, we talked a lot about Augustus. It's interesting. Augustus at the beginning isn't so much a character in the story. He's in the background, but he's also the narrator, as I've mentioned a couple of times. Eventually, he becomes more of a central character and a perspective character as the series goes on. He was a drug dealer, and he ended up getting pushed off. You get to see a little backstory of each character. He even gives a backstory for himself, which he ends up shooting a cop while he's escaping, not by accident. He's fucking high on crack, fucking his girlfriend, and fucking his wife, and he escapes on the roof naked, and he shoots a cop by accident, like just kind of throwing some scattered fire, and another cop throws him off a roof, and he's paralyzed, and he gets put into jail. So his character is sort of a background character here and there in the first half of the first season, but by the end he becomes more of a focus, and then by season 2 and season 3 he's absolutely, in season 4 he's absolutely a focus character, and Augustus plays dual roles as their narrator and as the character. I think he does better as the narrator than the character, but I think the character has its moments too. Augustus is definitely one of my favorite characters, more so on more recent watches than at the beginning. When I first watched, I was more interested in some other characters. But as time goes on, the subtlety of watching Augustus tell a story about a story he's in, it's an interesting counterbalance, and it works really well. Timo says, Augustus definitely became a fan favorite after a while, in my opinion. The number is 781-990-8509. Hey, McManus, do you take drugs? If not, you should start. That's the scene where Dino is he's like capturing the roach and stuff in his in the glass while he's in McManus's office, and he eventually throws it at him and shit. He's like, "McManus, send me the fucking hole," and he ends up sending him to to the to the AIDS ward instead. Thank you, Timo. Thank you. Yeah, Dino's wisdom. But yeah, Augustus is great. Very much a central focus character. I enjoy him on the show a lot. Then we got Ian Walker as Kareem Saeed. Obviously a breakout character on the show. I like Saeed a lot. I do think he's has a predilection to overact at times. And I will bring down upon like these crazy, like a crazy tone that he gets sometimes. But I think unlike a lot of other actors, I'm not gonna say no one can do it quite like him on the show, but I think he does it almost better than anyone in the show of displaying emotion throughout his facial expressions. And I think when they can tone him down, I've seen him in some other stuff where you can tell directors maybe haven't toned him down as much as they probably did on Oz. And that's something to say, that's toning him down. But when he has his big moments, it's very, very strong. He overacts a bit, but everything he says, I believe. And Saeed is a very strong-willed character that goes through a lot of definitely interesting arcs. Some of my favorite interactions are towards the end of the series when him, Toby, and Vern are all in those Sister Peter Marie's classes together. And Toby's saying how much Saeed and Vern are like each other. And they're just like, oh, fuck you. I think I like his relationship with Toby. I like his journey a lot. I think it's interesting watching him from season 1 and how he expands and how he changes throughout. And yeah, I can't say anything bad about Saeed except for, like I said, the overacts a little bit in that sort of a Shatner way. And Saeed was awesome, at least the interactions with him with Adebisi. And then his relationship with Adebisi, we'll get to Adebisi. Where is? Oh, there he is. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure how much I liked the you have part of Adebisi in you storyline that they went with for a while. When post the outcome of the Adebisi Saeed interaction, Saeed fight, when somehow Saeed had part of Adebisi transformed into him. Yeah, the whole Jefferson Keane stuff. Saeed, in a lot of ways, you could tell in certain moments, he would do things that would piss you off as a viewer or piss off certain characters in the show. And then throughout the course of the actions of the things, he would learn or he would put himself down, and you'd feel so bad for the character and you could feel his pain, and he kind of made you feel. And I think, again, that's a talent of the way the actor played the character. And I think the character of Kareem Saeed pissed me off sometimes, and some of his choices, some of his decisions, some of the times when he chose not to act, some of those times when he chose to act. But that actor gave a over the top, very believable performance. Very beautiful performance. What's this shit? Here we go. Here's a scene from Oz.
I was wrong, Adebisi. I see that now. You truly have transformed this cell block into a paradise. A utopia. And I'm gonna say it for everybody to hear. I want to join you. Serve you in whatever way you choose.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Together. Nothing.
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 I want to get to the nothing. 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 Nothing.
What?
Nothing. What? 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 And the way in that scene we were just watching, the way Saeed, even though he's playing an act, the way he is almost being hypnotized by the joy of which that Adebisi feels in life in that moment. You can see the smile running over his face as he feels that joy, feels his old self again, the person he used to be, as we know that he had a heroin problem at some point in time. Just beautiful, just beautiful. So our next character is someone that never ultimately got his feet kind of securely planted in Oz. And part of it is because the actor kept getting more roles and stuff. But that is Miguel Alvarez. Now, Miguel Alvarez is someone that started off on Oz in the first episode getting stabbed. And then you didn't see him for a while. He would be in solitary for a while here or there, go back and forth. I like Alvarez a lot. He escaped at one point in time. They kept having to come up with reasons why he was gone because the actor had other stuff to do but never wanted to leave Oz because that's how much some of the actors that worked on Oz liked working there. Alvarez kept getting himself in trouble. He's someone that and you can relate so much to that. Someone that's almost there but makes one fucking mistake and then everything's like a set of dominoes, just crumbles the fuck down on you and then you're fucked. Like everything that happened with him with the parole board and all of that sort of stuff, everything that floated around with Alvarez with with dealing with El Norte and running all of that, and to the point where someone else came in and said that for some reason he just didn't like him, so he had to do what he did with the guard, which really fucked him over, to everything with Leo Glenn and how Leo sort of picked him out because he thought he knew something about who raped his daughter. Ultimately he did, but whatever. Alvarez kept pissing in the wind and it kept splashing back in his face. And but within that, the character of Miguel Alvarez is a likable guy. He was someone that worked with a lot of people. When we see in the riots, because he was in control of his group during the riots, he was one that wanted to help the guards for the most part, had a very special relationship with Father Mikata, that they had a very, like a genuine friendship. He was one of the good ones, ultimately, I think, in some ways. I think a lot of circumstances fucked Miguel, and every time he went to just made a lot of really bad mistakes, and then it perpetuates, and then you're just like, fuck, I'm fucked. I mean, I'm not saying if I could be a cellmate with anybody, it would be him. It would probably be Busmalis or something like that, Agamemnon, or even... yeah, it would be one of the grumpy old men, or Toby. No, not even Toby, because he goes crazy. Maybe even Hill, because I don't think Hill's going to kill me. But ultimately, he at core, I think, is a good person. And could have maybe learned if it wasn't for his family and all this stuff. He kind of just perpetuated himself in Oz. Granted, like I said, he drew a lot of it to himself, but I like Miguel Alvarez. He was one of my favorite characters. I was very sad for the way his character arc ended with that Torquemada guy in the office, or in his cell, and feeding him ecstasy acid tabs and shit and getting all fucked up. But Alvarez and his grandfather, his relationship with taking care of him as he had Alzheimer's, and the fact that his father was in there too. Timo says Alvarez, even though he was in and out of the show, had such a sad story. He could have been out a long time ago. He should have been out a long time ago. Hitting that parole guy, it was just so sad. And then that guy basically telling him, "You're fucked. I'm never letting you out, ever. You're screwed." Yeah, just the cycle. Him with the dog. Yeah, his protection of the dog, teaching the dog to protect. I love his when he gets when the other dude from Solitary, I forget which guy it is, but it's kind of just one of the also-rans that trains the dog to attack the guard. He's like, "It's a shame they killed that dog. You love that dog," or something like that. He's a shitty person, but they love that dog. Fuck no, as much as I love Ryan and Toby, would never be cellmates with them. But Alvarez is the one to train the dog. He was very good. He was very good with that dog. So our next character on this list is a quick one. Rita Morano as Sister Peter Marie. Ballsy ass character. Loved her arc. Loved her and Keller's whole storyline with him fucking with her and how vengeful she was for fucking with her questioning whether she should leave a nun, but ultimately going back in it. Love Sister Peter Marie. Love how she just had so much balls. Didn't give a shit. Very, very strong character. Strong person that had hardcore ideals and had a good attitude about her. Right when you meet her, right off the bottom, you know what kind of character she is, and she never relents from that. She cares about what she cares about, and she cares about people too, but she cares about you. She's very loyal to you, but does not take shit from no one. And that includes other staff members. Love Sister Pete. Great character. Alvarez with you. You had a great storyline. Oh, right. Whoop, wrong chat. It's all relevant, Eli. It's all relevant. Our next character on this list is maybe the best character in all of the show, as horrible of a fucking person as he was. Maybe because he's my favorite actor on the show, and I think no one plays a bad guy quite as good as J.K. Simmons. Whether he's telling Spider-Man to fucking go fuck yourself, Spider-Man, or he's beating the shit out of Miles Teller, or he's fucking Tobias Beecher and fucking tattooing a swastika on his ass. It's fucking Vern Schillinger, the best character of the show, my favorite fucking character, because I love to hate him. No one elicited more hate out of me on television than Vern Schillinger. I can't explain it. The fucking way he made me hate his character, the way he played it, but also within that was so fucking funny. So funny, so charismatic. J.K. Simmons killed this role for everything it was worth. It's not easy to play a character like Vern Schillinger, and he played it so well and so believable that it's amazing that he had such the career that he had after that, being in a fucking a superhero movie, being one of the fucking M&Ms, being in a movie like Juno. Oz is something that he's got to like watch and just smile and go, holy shit. Like, wow. Schillinger had and even Schillinger at times made you feel kind of bad for him at times with shit that dealt with his son. And when Beecher was trying to actually do something nice for him, but it just turned to shit. He kidnapped Beecher's kids. And you felt like Vern could take a good turn. And he's just a horrible, fucking sadistic, evil fuck. Tebow says it right. Oh my God, I never liked a Nazi on a show as much as Vern. I never liked a Nazi on any medium as much as Vern. But he's the most charismatic Nazi ever played on screen, ever, anywhere. And he's incredible. That story was funny. It made me like Keller a little bit more. Oh my God. Oh, it's such a classic. What's up, Andy? Great to see you, buddy. Yeah, Vern was an Andy Robinson level actor. I agree with that. He has that kind of subtlety to every moment of Vern he plays. Like when Vern has those scenes with his father and he's sitting there talking to him, or it's scenes he has with his sister later on, or with the mother of his grandchild there. And there's just JK just is able to add such a strange level of humanity to this like sadistically evil character that just doesn't make you forgive him for anything he does, but it makes him strangely sadistically likable in a fucked up way. It's hard that you're feeling bad because I don't know, he plays it well, kind of almost like Stacy Keach in that show Titus or something like that. I think Stacy Keach is another one that plays that kind of character really well in like American History X or on Titus or in other kinds of situations. There's certain actors that it's scary how well they play characters like that. That's all I'll say. And I wouldn't want to be wandering down a dark alley and have J.K. Simmons walking up behind me. It's kind of scared the shit out of me. That's all I'll say. Vern was played to perfection. He was so fucking smart too. Exactly. He knew how to outsmart people. I mean, they definitely showed him to be an idiot at times, but he was more calculating than he wasn't like as dumb as Robson or something like that, or some of his other guys. But yeah, Vern, to me, was one of the 2 or 3 selling point characters on the show that kept me tuning in every week, kept me going back and being amazed with what I was seeing on screen in a sense of something I just never saw before. This was like Archie Bunker, Cartman shit in a realistic display. Yeah, you feel dirty for liking him so much, as Timo says. And Andy says it speaks volumes of J.K. Simmons' talent to get out from under that character. It's so true, Andy, about how charming he probably just is in person and how people were more shocked with how likable he can play. I keep going back to Juno's fight, but he's so likable in that role and warm. And I remember seeing that with people go, oh, he's so nice. He's so nice. And then I turn on like a scene from Oz or something where and they're just like, holy shit, that's the same guy. Do you know who killed Vern? It was Tobias, right? During the Macbeth play, with a blade that Keller gave to him. It was supposed to be a fake prop. From the first season when he set Toby up to be a cellmate just to rape him and make him his prag, singing and shit. Oh my God, I love him. And the way he set him up and the way he came in with the nice grab and sticking up for him with Adebisi. Not Adebisi's a great guy, but Adebisi's just like, oh God, you don't know what you got yourself into. So while we're waiting here, let me go over to here. We got a voicemail from the one and only Mr. Tim Gersh. So let's listen to Tim's voicemail, and then we'll get back to talking about our characters. We got a few more. We're not going to go through every character on Oz. I'll be here till tomorrow. Excuse me.
Okay, so, first off, and, kind of having a hard time saying this, but shut the fuck up, Tim. No, take that back. Shut the fuck up, McManus.
Better, Tim, better.
And second off, so let's start going through, the Oz characters on Game of Thrones. I mean, we already talked about who's, the baelish, but, well, about the other characters. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Good message, Tim. Thank you so much. As always, if anyone else wants to get on in for a voicemail, you can do that at 781-990-8509. You can see it down on the screen right now. What other characters would I compare to Game of Thrones characters? That's kind of tough, simply because in Oz, it's not necessarily even that we have too many gray characters. We have just some like really bad people on Oz. So it's kind of hard to see. And different characters play different things at different moments. So let me think about that. Hey Randy, great to see you, buddy. Great to see you. There should have been more scenes with Rebadow and Oz. Okay, so we have fuck, dude. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, O'Reilly is definitely a Baelish, Littlefinger type character. We talked about that. Cersei, crazy like that. Probably Adebisi would be a Cersei if we had to get that in that situation. Starks are tougher because there's not too many like good, honorable folk in Oz. When it really comes down to it, maybe Tobias would be kind of Rob Starky a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of pulling things out of my ass. It's a good question to kind of compare about that. It'd be better if saying like picking a Game of Thrones and who's the this character in Game of Thrones. I mean, or who's the this character in Oz. Who's the Mountain? Cyril O'Reilly. It is a fucking pool. Hey Phil, big fan of this show, like all of us, I'm sure are. I'll be watching live and then watching from the beginning. Love you. 1-800-THE-DREW. Thank you so much for jumping on in. As Timo just said, we're bathing in the nostalgia that is Oz right now and really kind of diving on in. So I appreciate you checking this out. I know we do a lot of shows that are on new bang, 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 stuff like that on the channel, but I also like to, I don't care if it's 3 people watching it. There's some shows that are so good that need to be talked about, and I kind of need to like check off the list that I did a cast on that. And Oz is one of them, like I said from the beginning, that I've been wanting to do almost right away, almost from the very beginning of the start of this channel when I was doing Breaking Bad stuff. At the beginning, I was like, yeah, I should do Oz stuff too. But so I'm excited to finally be doing this. And this also will not be the only Oz coverage. Whenever we do these big series reviews or season reviews, that's not to say later I won't recap an episode or recap a story arc or do a specific video on stuff on Oz later. It just means it's fair game now. So if people have requests, if we spin wheels and it lands on make a request of something, you could say, review that episode there, review season 4, episode 3 of Oz or something. So, so consider it in the pile of shit now. Mm-hmm. Oh, her name was, fuck Timo, the Shirley Bellinger. Kind of a funny side story about that. The actress that played Shirley Bellinger was married to the actor that played Tim McManus. I don't know if they were still married by the end of the series, but I know they were at least married at a point in time. Shirley is the Cersei. I can see that. Rebadow is a Stark. I could definitely see that. Or I think a Rebadow as a maester or something like that, as an old maester. Iron, donate $1. If it lands on there, I'll do it. What is that? Is that micro? No, it's fucking. It's not Africa. It's 3, and then it's not Micronesia. It's fuck. It's the one with Boston Rob. It's Boston Rob's first season. Or is it was for the Amazon? I'll do it, Iron Throne. Spin it. If it lands on request of review, it will happen. I'll do it. I'll review Survivor episode 4, season 4, episode 12. Or is 4 the Amazon? 4 might be the Amazon. Oh, Cyril will be a Stark. He's sweet in his own way. The Iron Throne's like, I was just kidding. You always take everything so literal, asshole. Fucking asshole. You fucking Survivor fan. I know, I'm just trolling back. Oh, I meant to. Oh no, I'll announce it. I'll announce it at the end. I'll announce that shit at the end. Okay, so let's continue because we're about to get to probably the next 2 of my favorite characters right there with J.K. Simmons, and that is Dean Winters playing the iconic character of his career as Ryan O'Reilly. Oh, I forgot somebody. Lee Tergesen as Tobias Beecher. Yeah, there he is. Toby's another one of those characters. He's not one of my favorites. I think he's self-righteous. I liked crazy Toby at the beginning of the series when it gets into Toby self-reflecting and my son, my child, and my wife, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm like Team Vern on that shit. But whatever. No, I mean Toby's good enough. He's serviceable. He's just not one of my favorite characters in the show. And there's so many other people that I'm way more interested in. Quixote, great to see you. Yeah, Quixote's like, did someone say Survivor? Timo's like, feels like please can someone donate and get it on the wheel so I can review an episode of Survivor without being like, no one on this channel wants to hear that shit but Quixote and I. Quixote, you're invited into the captain's chambers during Survivor seasons, and you can listen to me give you a private review of Survivor. And that's way less dirty and way more geeky than it sounds. Okay, so yeah, there's Tobias Beecher. I think he goes through a lot. He really does. He has a hard storyline, hard story throughout the series. But ultimately, Toby's just meh for me. He's not one of my favorite characters. He's hit or miss. I don't love the actor. I think he elicits a lot of kind of depressing feelings. I think he probably got the part because he plays crazy really well, and I think he does play crazy really well. But some of the stuff, they scale him back in the end of the series when he's less crazy and more kind of reflective. I don't buy it quite as much. I think there's like just so many better actors on Oz, and Lee Tergesen there just, I don't know. He's all right. He's all right. I think he's one of the worst of the main actors. If I'm being nitpicky about anything, I'm not really a Toby fan. Toby was at his best by shitting on people doing drugs and biting dicks. Exactly, Timo. Once he shaved the mutton chops and he stopped telling everyone to go fuck themselves and stuff, and he played crazy really well. Back half of the series, Toby. First half of the series, Toby, yay. Watching him go crazy, watching him regain his sanity, but I do like the way his story ends. I do. I like it. I like that that's his outcome. And I like to imagine he ends up on death row. There's a shirt emoji, but there's no emoji to the note emojis. And Toby will probably have Toby probably does have the saddest storyline. And when you think about everything that happened to his wife, his father, his kids, he just, his ass. He just had a lot of really tough stuff. Tonight, if people are curious, I am drinking Game of Thrones, Bend the Knee, in honor of Oz, because there's a lot of people bending the knees on Oz. And it's the Targaryen one. So, there we go. That is what I be drinking tonight. Toby speaking in riddles and rhymes were awesome. Yeah. Trickle dickle dick, pick my cock. You want to mess with me? I'll fuck your doc. You know, his shit like that, yeah. Little Miss Muffet sat in a tuffet. Little boy Blue, he needed the money. Oh! When he started doing shit like that, it was great. Yeah, Toby had a super sad end, Tim. But I thought it was earned in that sense. And I think it was Keller. I know we're going to get to a character that Timo and I are going to actually probably disagree with, having seen some of her comments, but Keller won, and he was always going to win. Because he's a manipulative fucking evil bastard, and he got his hooks into Toby, and he wasn't letting him out of that situation without major damage. Toby should have listened to him at the beginning when he initially had it, when he had his chance to get out of the situation. But once he kind of brought Keller back in, Keller was never letting go, and it was fucking sad, and Keller got him. Okay, so then we get into Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly, Dean Winters, owned this role, lived in it. We kind of already talked a lot about him. Ran throughout, was the Varys, was the little finger of Oz, ran that place, was able to have an illicit affair with the staff members, two of them, with what was her name? I'm blank. We still haven't come up with her name. The guard, the fucking Officer Claire Howell, who fucking forcibly made her, or not at first, but then eventually when Ryan tried to stop the relationship, she's like, we'll stop fucking when I say we're done fucking. Yeah, scary. Boo, Keller fucked Toby more than Vern. Yes, he totally did. Literally, in some ways. In some ways, I think Keller was kind of the Baelish too. I do agree with that, because Keller was more, I guess maybe Ryan was more the Varys, and Keller was more the Littlefinger, and even in the sense of the way they connected at times and worked together on plans. Because Keller wanted scorched earth, where Ryan just kind of wanted to skate by and wouldn't fuck with you unless you got in his path, or unless it serviced his growth. He wouldn't necessarily go out of his way just to fucking kill people unless him and Keller were on a plan. Ryan O'Reilly just owned it. Just owned every single minute of every scene he was in. And it's tough on a show like Oz to stand out, especially in his moment. The way he had that dynamic relationship with his brother, and the way he showed that level of emotion while still keeping his tough guys. Incredible, the way he would just explode, and the way he would calculate, and the way you would see his mind work. That battle he had with the Russian over the use of the cell phone was just exceptionally done. The way he worked with the guards, the one he had in his pocket at the beginning, and then eventually the way he worked with Murphy and kind of charming them and weeding his way in and having basically a pull and a tell in every single group. Never was on his way out. And ultimately always had an escape plan. He always was able to make moves. As he said, I got moves for days. So, he was one of the greatest characters on Oz. And Dean Winters, I think, is an exceptionally good actor, and it's a shame that he hasn't done much, but it's tough to top Ryan for him, because in times that I've seen him since then, he is basically playing Ryan. And Ryan worked with almost every racial group in order to survive. And that is, Ryan never stopped moving. And I bet if they ever did, I'm not saying that I want this, but if they ever did go back and re-enter Oz, I bet Ryan's still there and still living and still making moves. And he was playing the long game, knew it was a marathon, not a sprint. He knew he had so many years, eventually Compton's going to be there for life, but he is what he is. Just when you think, oh, Ryan is sweet, he's fucking working to get someone killed, hardly ever got his hands dirty himself. And he had a steady stream of tits all the time, eventually stopped using so he could just make constant money. Every time he got buzzed out, or, you know, someone would fuck with his tits, or someone would shake him down or something like that, he would eventually re-up again. He always had an in everywhere, was always the guy getting things, and ultimately, when he wanted you dead and gone, he would get you dead and gone, whether it be through ratting and through working with the guards or something like that, or whispering here, whispering there, having his little birds speak here, little birds there. Ryan controlled all the action. It was amazing. I loved him in the auto insurance commercials because it makes me think of Ryan. Yeah, me too. Ryan, for you, I only got 43 seconds, but the way you double talk, that should be more than enough. Yeah, exactly. Ryan, great character. And I think Ryan is the one that I don't have to stop and talk about all the dynamic relationships on Oz. You know, Sister Pete and Toby and Keller, blah, blah, blah. But I want to talk about Ryan with so many different pairs. Ryan and Adebisi were an excellent pair to watch together. I'm about to talk about Adebisi in a second. Then we had Ryan and Cyril, obviously, as a group. Then we had that whole section during Adebisi's run when Ryan and Keller start working together. I love that section. I love when Ryan and Keller start working together. And Toby's like, oh, if you're gonna fuck with these people, I'm gonna fuck with you, Keller. Great stuff. I can't talk enough highly about Ryan O'Reilly and what Dean Winters brought to this show. He brought a level of comedy. He's one of the main forces throughout the series that also not only brings you those deep brotherly moments in the moments of like sort of a love story in Oz too. One of the two big love stories in Oz with him and Nurse Jackie there. What is the fuck her name? Dr. Nathan and Toby and Keller. So yeah, I guess, I mean, I could keep talking. I could do a whole podcast on how much I love Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan was mayhem. It's almost like people didn't view him as a real threat. He was. They never really looked at him in that way. I agree with you, Timo. So speaking of someone that they did look at as a threat, a force of fucking nature. I'm not going to even try to pronounce his name because I will kill it. The part of his life, even though he's had several amazing parts afterwards, a lot of people know him as Mr. Echo. Dude, I'm not going to kill your name. Simon Adebisi. The visual representation of what was Oz. In the first season, he is definitely more of a background character, even though he does have his moments. He's second in command of the Homeboys and all of that stuff behind Jefferson Keane and stuff. But ultimately, Simon eventually has so many rises and falls when he goes goes crazy and he grows a beard and just everything and how he takes over the prison. Incredible watching his sadistic mind work. One of the truly most evil people in Oz, in the way he pricked Hector Salamanca with a needle and gave him AIDS, the way he ground up glass and fed it to Shabetta's food, the fucking incredible Shabetta's food. He owned it. I mean, ultimately, like when the Simpsons ragged on Oz, Homer wore a hat like Adebisi. Like Adebisi's hat became a central focus of Oz, of when people thought about Oz, they thought about Adebisi. He became such a big force on the show by the time he left that the show kind of changed feels when he left. He could have been on for so many more years, but I think his arc was almost perfect in the way it rose and fell. He was like one of those huge fireworks that would go up and eventually get so big that it would explode. What he turned the prison into under Querns, And fuck, dude, just Adebisi, it was incredible character. Another one of those just loathsome human beings. But he also, when he played that whole thing when his father was suddenly in prison and they fucked with him because they wanted their old Adebisi back, and the way he got revenge, just incredible, multifaceted character that played emotion so well. Ultimately, it was because of the actor, not the character, that you felt for him, similar in the same way as Vern. But such, again, a force of nature on that show. The show was, in a sense, all about selling it from Simon Adebisi in some stretches of this series. It was all his plan. He was running it, running a game, fucked with McManus, fucked with everybody, controlled the prison. He is amazing. Like, only Simon can make me laugh on a male-on-male rape scene. The way he puts his headphones on and starts raping somebody. I don't know, Vern came close with that pool table scene. Always wanted to know whose dick is bigger, mine or Adebisi's. It's dancing in the kitchen while he's doing it. Simon is just so iconic around Oz. I think he made the show for so many years for me and for so many people. And it was a shame he wanted to leave, but I do think, as I said, his arc was very complete, and I think they did a great job on the show, finding the perfect place for him to go out and finding the perfect storyline for him to go out on. It made sense that it would come down to him and Saeed, and who knows how Saeed came up on top in that situation. By the way, toast to you, Timo. Thank you so much. Timo sent me this gift. Thank you, Timo. Oh, yes. And then Adebisi, when he did get out of Oz, ultimately got a secondary career as a cock merchant. True story. He ultimately made his way onto Game of Thrones too and makes his way around in bit parts here, bit parts there. But ultimately, this guy is another one of these people that it will be hard for me to ever imagine him as anybody else but Simon Adebisi. And he's an excellent actor. So, Simon Adebisi, I toast to you. You're fucking amazing. Simon is the funniest. And somehow that hat stays on. How the hell was Adebisi allowed to stay in M City for so long, though? That's one of those things. There's certain elements that Oz isn't necessarily always the most believable show in the way it shows you certain things, but it's extremely entertaining. And I think Simon Adebisi is one of those over-the-top characters that you can only get in a show like Oz that is almost half a stage show. He's just so big, so incredible, and it's amazing watching his rise from background character as the actor started to feel more comfortable and how they explored him more as a character as time went on. Crazy. And he's got one of the scariest background scenes of what he did. He fucking decapitated a cop with a machete. Here we go. Ryan was, and that was fun. Oh yeah, did you try to freeze it yet? I did. I absolutely did. I did earlier today. It's actually, I'm in this fucking hot baking sweat house of a room, and the beer is actually still cold. Mm-hmm. Toast to you, Timo, and thank you so much for the awesome gifts. The gifts, Timo, for that, I'll give you one more spin. Kenney Bricks was a dick riding Adebisi so hard. I almost forgot. I almost wasn't going to mention Kenney Bricks, who is also one of our characters that is a big character on The Wire. And I actually like him a lot better on The Wire than I like him on Oz. I don't necessarily like Kenney Bricks, but I do like his character a lot on The Wire. So yeah, he's one of the couple of characters we have that are in both shows. There's a lot of crossovers. So yeah, Adebisi played crazy, played over the top so amazingly well. So let's get to another incredible actor that it's crazy to think about him as this character, but we got Father Ray Mikata, played by B.D. Wong, who is just really believable and really warm and really multifaceted in that role. I like him a lot and adds a lot of characters. I'm going to go a little bit quicker with some of these characters that don't necessarily, because basically the ones I said, those are our main players, the main people that really carried through all the great attention of Oz. But there are more that need to be mentioned, and I'm going to kind of go quickly through some of them. Oh, shit. Timo, you're right. It did land on that. I would rather it be shot than taking push-ups. So and the wheels starting to fade a little bit. So yeah, we'll say it landed on shots, okay? And I'll get a shot when I'm done here. So I reserve the right to change anything to a shot at any time. So BD Wong, Father Ray Mikata, very believable character. I love his relationship with what's his name, with Alvarez. I think it's a central focus on in the story. One of those foundations that starts in the beginning, goes to the very end, and I think he exceptionally well done. I think I never had a complaint about BD Wong playing Father Ray Mikata. Really great stuff. He's also Doctor Strange on Gotham and kicks ass on Gotham. I like the father of the Alvarez scenes. It's really good. I'm gonna take what it first landed on, Timo. Then we get, how come Keller wasn't mentioned up there? Because he's considered reoccurring. He's not a main actor. So here we go. Let's go. Yeah, Timo, do you want push-ups or do you want shots? Timo wants shots. Of course she wants shots. Shots are always allowed. I don't want to do 20 push-ups right now, Tim. Don't make me do it, Tim. Don't you dare. So we got Edie Falco as Officer Diane Wellesley. We already talked about her a lot. We got Donald Groves. Nina Shabetter, we talked about. Jefferson Keane, played by Leon. Dino Ortolani, all things that are very important in season 1. Gloria Nathan, Dr. Nathan. Dr. Nathan, you're fucking right. I mean, not fucking. You're making out with Ryan O'Reilly. You're teasing him. I know you went through a lot of shit, and your fucking husband got killed by this bastard, and you're still making out with him, doing all this fucking shit. You're leading his ass on. You deserve to be fired for your inappropriate behavior with the fucking people. You're not quite, what's her name? You're not quite Howell, but you're fucking pretty sketchy, Gloria. You should know better. You can't love this guy. You can't do that. Oh, we got our good buddy, SM. Great to see you, buddy. Good to see our old friends. No, I didn't. Keller's coming. I saw him towards the bottom of the list. For some reason, he's ranked really low. Claire Howell was that sadistic female guard, Andy. So then we continue down here, and then we get Bob Rebadow, who is one of our characters from the beginning. I like Rebadow. I like him better when he's sort of psycho and has his psycho tendencies, or he's a nice guy rather than the talking to God stuff. I can do without that at times, but I think he's an interesting character, especially when we get into his past and what he did, and then we get into he's another one that has a lot of sad stories and dealing with a lot of shit. When he starts losing his mind a little bit, or he has diabetes or something, and he's in bed, it's like, where's my stuff? Where's Agamemnon? Where's Mama? Mama? It's really sad when he starts freaking out and losing his shit. It's tough to watch. And Busmalis as his partner. Busmalis has his moments. I don't always buy him and his escape tunnel digging ways like he's the fucking mole or some shit. But whatever. Busmalis is a funny, entertaining character. I like that he kind of goes crazy at the end because of everything with Miss Sally's schoolyard. He's one of the guys that escapes too, and he gets caught very early on. He's an okay character. I like Agamemnon better than Busmalis. And I don't mind the grumpy old men. Excuse me. Aspects of the show. I think it has its moments and has its entertaining value to it. His past was kind of funny. Yeah, it was when we kind of see it for a little while. Yeah, seriously though, fuck Gloria. She's like, Let me hold your hand and rub your hand. Don't look at me. Fuck you. Get out of here. Guard, get him out of here. Why are you letting this guy hold your hand inappropriately when you're supposed to have a job as a doctor and you're yelling about how you are not being respected because people call you nurse and all this fucking bullshit? You'd be fucking lucky to be called nurse, Dr. fucking Nathan. Fuck you. You're fucking sitting there fucking, not even fucking, mind fucking a sociopathic prisoner. How do you feel about that? You got your husband killed because of your inappropriate behavior. There. Smack. Gloria. He got blood and piss thrown at him. Oh, what the crazy guard, Dave Brass, when he gets his foot cut, that he could join the NBA easily because he played one-on-one against Rick Fox. Yeah, Rick Fox is here. Jackson Vayu, Rick Fox, the who was I saying, one of the worst actors to be on the show? But it was cool to have Rick Fox there doing whatever. J.D. Williams, Kenny Wangler. We got Governor James Devlin. Okay, Governor James Devlin, played by Zeko Ivanka, whatever the hell his name is. I think as small of a part as he played as Governor James Devlin, he was so fucking memorable in that role to me. I see him in so many other things, and he's always Governor Devlin to me. So schwarmy, so horrible. The way he was fucking smoking in the fucking prison after he ex-nayed smoking from all the prisoners. His complete sticking his nose to everything, getting shot and being excited about it, people fuck with him. I like how his story ultimately ends up and how he gets his comeuppance at the end, but ultimately I cannot say enough good things about his performance. I think he's one of those guys that steals the show and is one of those underrated performances on Oz because he's not so much of a focused character, but I think every time he steps in, he's incredible. Wait, Gloria was kind of mind-fucked by Ryan. Ryan's a victim, Tim. A victim, my friend. Ryan was an innocent person that Gloria manipulated him. Why, Timo says, why lead him on, then turn him around and cockblock him? Wish he would have killed her at the end. He thought about it. We have Arnold Poet Jackson, which is another character that is very much that kind of took the actor and kind of wrote around him. And I think he is an interesting character on the show. Delivers a lot of poetry. Got out, ended up get fucked and get sent back in. I like his relationship with different sects of the show, like how Saeed kind of gets all on his side, and then eventually he lets down Saeed, and Saeed gives him that "you let me down" look. He's like, "Fuck you! What do you want me to say?" We got Rick Fox, Jackson Vayu, Peter Shabeta, Agamemnon. Here he is, Christopher Meloni as Chris Keller. Okay, I cannot get enough of Chris Keller. The way he's one of these, this is where we might disagree. The way he kills for sport, the way he's kind of a serial killer, and we have Chuck Bass's dad kind of hunting him down through the whole series. His relationship, the way he manipulates Toby, but ultimately gets Toby to still fall in love with him. I think he's an incredible manipulator. The way he fucks with Sister Pete. I think it's interesting to watch a sociopath work on that level. His relationship with Vern and all of that. I think he's a good central binding force between the two of them. Another one of those just straight up son of a bitch, horrible human beings. What he puts Toby through, everything he puts Toby through for loving him and ultimately being so selfish that he cannot live without having him. And if he's gonna die, he's not gonna let Toby have a happy life without him. Toby should have taken the deal and run and gone to Chuck Bass's dad and gotten the deal and hammered Chris's ass to the wall. I like duplicitous kind of characters, Garrick's, Ryan O'Reilly's, and I think ultimately Keller is another one of those. I think he is someone that's overwhelmed by his vices, though, and his urges, and they overwhelm him, and he fucks up, and he's just literally a serial fucking killer that just rapes people and then murders them. And he's just, the way he manipulates that with a smile and charms people, because Christopher Meloni, I think, is a charming actor. So I actually really like Keller, or as a character, and I know I'm turning to the chat, and he changed poor Toby. Oh man, fucking Keller. Phil loves Keller. Phil is sadistic. Okay, says the Ramsey liker. There's this funny clip. You've probably seen it, but where Ramsey, Conan O'Brien's interviewing him, and they ask him, I think specifically about you, Timo, and they go, so how do you feel about people that think Ramsey's their favorite character? And he's like, I think those people are fucked up. I'm one of those fucked up people too. I like fucked up characters. And Keller, no doubt, is one of the most fucked up people in Oz. What he does to Toby, the love con, what he tries with Sister Pete, similar love con. And I think Keller, unlike Ryan and unlike some other characters, isn't smart. I think Keller is very emotional based and doesn't think things through as well as some other people do. And I think Keller's a manipulative person, but not a smart person. Hey, no comparing Ryan with Keller. Ryan is so much better. Keller climbed the chaos ladder. SM says he never watched Oz. I think you would enjoy it. It's dated. It might be dated to your eyes, but you'll recognize a lot of actors on it. It'll be worth a watch. Holy shit, is Keller the Ramsey of Oz? He might be, Timo. He might be. The way he got joy out of killing like that, it was said many times. For Keller, murder was a sport. He got off on it. He got high on it. He didn't really take drugs too much or anything like that. What he got off on was having someone blow him and then snapping his neck right afterwards. That was his thing. SM, that would be a video on its own. Let me copy and paste that somewhere. Joe and I have been wanting to do top 5 most fucked up movie characters, but we'll do a TV one too. But off the top of my head, most fucked up, all of them could be on Oz. Ralphie Cifaretto would be up there on that list. Walt. Walter White. Fucking swarmy bastard. Vern Schillinger, if I'm talking about Oz. I'm talking about Oz. See, I'm going to mention Oz characters that you don't know. Gul Dukat. Tim. I'll do research for that. That is a good request, SM. Keep me honest about that one. Ramsey, Joffrey. Ramsey and Joffrey both need to be somewhere on that list. Keller's more reactionary or just acts on impulse as well. Exactly. As usual, Timo, you're right because we think alike. No. As usual, Timo and I are on the same. Yeah, that's exactly. Keller is someone that reacts, that comes off of things, that makes quick decisions and doesn't really think of the consequences, or is very reactionary. Ryan is calculating. Very rarely does Ryan not know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Come on, Joffrey was just misunderstood. Joffrey really warged into Sir Pounce and pushed Tommen out a window. Ramsey had a hard life. He's misunderstood. So Chris Keller, great character, very dark, very multifaceted, like all the characters on Oz. And I think Christopher Meloni played him with such joy and silliness that he just owned it. Then we get Cyril O'Reilly. So, yeah, Cyril. Like, I think he's generally believable. I think Cyril's at his best when he's freaking out and screaming and going fucking crazy. Dukat was pure evil. What he did to the Bajoran people, all those cons that he used to do, where he would get Bajoran women to leave their husbands and come and fuck him, and make them think like they're doing something good, but really be killing their families while he's fucking their wives. That's fucking some sick shit Dukat did to him. The boxing stuff. So let's Chucky Pancamos, Chuck Zito, the only guy that was really in prison, Antonio Napa, Mark Margolis, or Hector Salamanca, Shirley Bellinger, we mentioned that before, William Giles, Jazz Hoyt, Timmy Kirk, Evo, Sean Murphy, Claire Howell, we talked about her a little bit, Nikolai, the Russians that we had, Seamus O'Reilly came in, Ryan's dad, Martin Querns coming in as the alternative, so many characters, Officer Dave Brass as the basketball player, Burr Redding, who came in after Adebisi left, was Omar White. Okay, Omar. Then we get Lord Supreme Ketchum. Method Man was on the show at a point in time. We had so many different characters. That's basically all of the characters I really wanted to talk about. We'll talk a few seconds about Burr Redding. Omar White. Did you guys like Omar, or were you annoyed by Omar? I could not deal with Omar, especially on rewatches. First time watching through, I was all right, but yeah, we had the undercover cop with the guy from The Wire that ended up doing drugs and shit like that, and fucking killing someone in front of Hill. So many good stuff happened. So much good stuff. Tug. Yeah, Tug was Method Man. Tug Daniels or something, I think it was Method Man. Method Man was good in the show. Oz was the show that made me want to learn Russian. Are you going to get a line where people can call in and talk before you get Game of Thrones? Yes, I am. I'm going to cheat the system a little bit, but yes, I have the blog talk thing set up, so I'll have a call-in line for Game of Thrones, Q line like we had last year, where you guys can wait on hold and kind of listen to the show and stuff. But yeah, we will have the call-in line returning for Game of Thrones. I hate Omar. Desmond Mobay. Yep. Thank you, Tim. And Tim. Da. Privyet. Yodoshin pafe toilet. That's in Russian. Where's the... Hey, Tim, what's up? Where's the toilet? That is true. And you...
Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy.
I hate Omar.
Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy. Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy. Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy, tonight.
Okay, so that is our characters from fucking Oz. So before we let's get into our fucking one different topic. Let's get into some our last topic of the night, some Oz fun facts. Da. Give the man his money. Da. Yodoshin. Time for some fun facts about some Oz. Let's get to this bullshit. Yeah, fuck Omar. Not a fan. Whew. Dicks to dust. I know I owe you a shot too, Timo. Okay, let's get to some fun facts. Now, if you showed up too late to set, Tom Fontana did not like that shit. If you did, you'd be raped next week, or sometimes in some cases your character would be killed. He did not deal with actors being late. He didn't like that shit. Now, in the tattooed arm in the intro, that is show creator Tom Fontana. It is the first hour drama ever produced by HBO. The two inmates who were brothers, Ryan and Cyril O'Reilly, are played by real-life brothers, Dean Winters and Scott William Winters, respectively. The other brother, Bradford Winters, was one of the writers for the show as well. Holy shit. I'm not sure if I knew that. So Ryan and Cyril are really brothers in real life. That puts another wrinkle to their story and how close they played. That makes a lot of sense on how they could play so emotional with each other. That's interesting. I wonder if the actor that played Ryan suggested Cyril for his flashback scene or something like that, and then they liked the actor so much they decided to write a part for him. It's interesting how Cyril wasn't always like that in his head. He hit his head dealing with the situation for Ryan. So I did not know those two were really brothers, and I did not know their other brother wrote for the show. Fucking awesome. That's pretty fucking great. Is the tattoo story on the fun facts list? Yes, it is. Miss Fontana took after his whore of a brother. Many of the tattoos on the characters, such as Keller, Pencamo, and O'Reilly, are real tattoos. The character of Shirley Bellinger was based on a real-life child murderer of Susan Smith. Craig McGrant, Arnold Poet Jackson, actually wrote all the poems he read in the series. Make sure your character gets raped if you're late. We'll ride his sex here. Chuck Zito Pencamo first auditioned for a biker, having been a veteran of the Hells Angels Biker Club, and he always wanted to put together a biker series. In fact, he sued Sons of Anarchy because he said he had the idea first and Kurt Sutter stole it, which eventually they settled and put Chuck Zito on Sons of Anarchy. That's a little side fun fact for you. However, because of his complexion and heavy New York accent, Tom Fontana thought he'd fit better with the Italians in the series, so they put him with the Italians. Chuck Zito and Craig McGrant Poet were the only cast members who'd actually done any time really in prison. Throughout the series, Kareem Saeed, Tim Kirk, James Robson, Jeremy Cloutier are the only inmates, and Father Mikata and Sister Pete are the only staff members to pronounce Vern Schillinger's last name correctly. And everyone purposely pronounces it incorrectly throughout the series. Terry Kinney, Tim McManus, and Shirley Bellinger were married in real life during the show. They divorced in 2006. The prisoner inmate numbers begin with 2 digits. Let's play a little bit of fun fact music. Play the fun fact music, Miles Edward O'Brien. Okay, Phil. The prisoner and inmates begin with 2 digits indicating the year in which they were incarcerated and the letter in which the first name or their last name. The only exception is inmates whose last name begins with O, such as O'Reilly, because prison officials believe that an O could easily be mistaken for a 0. So they use the letter P for inmates whose last name begins with O. The location of Oswald is never mentioned in the series, but it is rumored that it is in New York or part of Baltimore. I would have loved if it was in the same universe as The Wire. That would be really cool. Now, prior to the boxing scenes in season 3, series creator Tom Fontana asked the actors involved if they had ever experienced in boxing. All said yes, but it turned out that only Chuck Zito had ever done any real boxing. Most of the actors who play inmates in the show played police officers on some other series, whether it be The Wire or the Law & Order series. During the opening credits, the faces of all the characters, specifically the main or the recurring characters, are cut off by the cameras so they cannot clearly be identified. 4 of the cast members went on to appear in Law & Order SVU: Christopher Meloni, Dean Winters, B.D. Wong, and J.K. Simmons. Simmons also appeared in the original Law & Order in addition to SVU, as well as Rita Morano, Kathy Eckberg. All were in Law & Order and Law & Order Criminal Intent. Holy shit. According to Tom Fontana, Dean Winters had a crush on Luna Lauren Valdez and requested a sex scene to be filmed with their characters, Dr. Nathan. A scene in which Ryan O'Reilly fantasized about having sex with Dr. Nathan was filmed because Dean Winters wanted to feel up on some fucking Dr. Nathan. Go Ryan O'Reilly! Tim says Upper State New York was Oz.
Shut the fuck up, Phil.
No, not yet, dude. Zito was arrested for battery on Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, according to Tom... In contrast to many screen depictions of prison, such as The Shawshank Redemption, none of the characters in prison in Oz are innocent of their crimes. Even Jason Kramer, whose conviction is overturned by police misconduct, is heavily implied to be guilty of the crime he's sent to prison for. Series creator Tom Fontana has said that this decision to have only guilty characters was a deliberate one in order to better highlight the series' theme of redemption. In 2013, book Difficult Men to Work With Behind the Scene, A Creative Revolution from The Sopranos and The Wire to Mad Men and Breaking Bad, which is a book I have actually listened to on audiobook. I highly recommend this book, Difficult Men Behind the Scenes of Creative Revolution from The Sopranos to The Wire to Mad Men and Breaking Bad. It's a fun book. Audiobook is available on Audible. I got it at one of my free Audible trial things. You can get that. It's a lot of fun. It talks a lot about how creative teams work differently. It's mainly focused around The Sopranos, but it does talk about Oz. But anyways, author Brett Martin notes that while he was a writer and executive producer on Oz, Tom Fontana was also subsidizing... Tom Fontana, to get his actors to work on Oz, was also paying for some of his actors' theater projects while filming Oz out of his own pocket. So he was the producer of many of the actors in the cast's theater projects. Fontana said that he gave the donation so that he would actually have to attend the shows, that it was worth $1,000 not to see a play. So he wouldn't have to attend the shows. So he said that he gave the money just so he wouldn't have to go. Which I like that, because I give gifts to parties or gifts to like people's weddings and stuff just so I don't have to show up. You know, if I give a gift, does that mean I don't actually have to go? Ryan O'Reilly and Schillinger, J.K. Simmons and Dean Winters, both went on to be featured in insurance commercials. Winters as the Mayhem, the Allstate spokesman, and Simmons as the farmer's insurance professor. That's really weird. 11 of the cast members on Oz went to be on The Wire eventually. Evan Seinfeld, who plays neo-Nazi Jazz Hoyt, he's actually a biker, Jazz Hoyt, is of Jewish descent in real life. He has a large tattoo of the Star of David on his stomach, which was hidden on the series. Christian Rode, who was originally hired to appear in only 2 episodes, but the cast enjoyed working with her so much her role was expanded, so she stayed on the series till the end. Who is Christian Rode? Is that fucking Claire Howell there? Is that who she is? Yeah, Claire Howell. Oh, okay, awesome. That is the Christian Rode, who I just mentioned there. That is the crazy guard that rapes inmates and stuff. Claire Howell. You can leave your voicemail and text. Yeah, thank you, Iron Throne. Use the link, Phil. Wait, when am I using the link? Let me scroll up. You sent me a link? Oh, I thought you sent me a link. So I used the link, Phil. I did it. So she was originally for 2 episodes. Tom Fontana named the prison Oswald after Russell Oswald, who was the real-life warden of Attica when the infamous prison riot took place there. Dr. Nathan learns that Nurse Carol Grace previously worked at St. Elgus, which is the same name of the hospital in St. Elsewhere, where Tom Fontana was a writer on the show. J.K. Simmons Vern got injured on set when moving a camera fell on him and it struck him in his head. Oh, yes, Iron Throne. Thank you. She meant no. Please use the link in the description box below to get your Audible free trial of 30 free days. And you can get a free audiobook, and you get to keep that audiobook whether you sign up for Audible or not. It helps the channel grow, not just in Super Chat, not just in PayPal, not just in Patreon. If you help us with some of our affiliate affiliate links, it helps us grow as well. So thank you so much to the people that have done that and to anyone who will do that in the future. So please sign up for Audible, and you can find that link in the description box below. And read that book. Awesome SM. And thank you, Tima. I'm not very bright. It's on a delay, so I don't remember what I say 2 seconds before. I'm all stream of consciousness here. I don't write shit down. So 4 of the cast members appeared on Dexter. David Zales, Lauren something, Scott William Winters, and Eric King. The full name of the prison, known as Oz, was Oswald Maximum Security Penitentiary. The name was later changed to Oswald State Correctional Facility Level 4. Donald Groves is the prisoner that kills his mother and father and eats the flesh. It's played by the late Sean Whitesell. In addition to appearing to the first season, he also wrote 2 episodes for the 5th season. Those episodes were Laws of Gravity and Dream a Little Dream from Me. He sadly passed away in 2015. Kareem Saeed's name before his conviction to Islam was Goodson Truman, and his Zephra Arfrim's name before conversion was Jerome Van Dyke. Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage, a.k.a. Tyrion Lannister, plays an unnamed murder victim who's thrown off a rooftop by one of the characters during an Augustus Hill introduction of their character. Give us some more detail. Wait, Peter Dinklage is on Oz? That changes things together. That makes me want to dance with my space pants. If only I could choose the gift. Carte blanche on the spinning wheel. Ha, da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. I don't say it enough, but I say it a lot. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and joining me for this silly stream. Got some fun stuff coming up for you guys. Probably tomorrow. I will talk about that in a little bit, but got a special video coming out soon. Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage. Series regular Ernie Hudson and son Ernie Hudson Jr. made recurring appearances as inmate Hamid Khan. Even though it's never stated where the show takes place, it's hinted that it's around Buffalo, New York. Buffalo Bill's helmet is seen in Glenn's office. Officer Darlene Weasley mentions a Chevy plant, possible reference to the GM plant in Buffalo. Also, series creator Tom Fontana's hometown is Buffalo. Tim McManus tells the story to Kareem Saeed about Attica prison riots during season 1 finale. Attica, New York is fairly close to Buffalo, maybe referencing that McManus lives close to New York City, yada, yada, yada. It's a lot of hints that, as Tim was saying, that Oz is in New York. Mike Doyle plays the intensely homophobic Adam Gunzel in the season 5. In real life, Doyle is openly gay. Kirk Alvarez, Ernie Hudson, Glenn, and Adebisi are top billed during the course of the show. Although Oz was created to depict what prison life was, actually life for prisoners, many fans and the few cast members who had done real-time in prison state it's nothing like the script series. In contrast, quite the opposite of mostly all U.S. prisons keep inmates segregated and locked in their cells for most of the time, in a sense that this was a series having characters in an intricate storyline. It was obvious that the show was given more fluff to appeal to viewers. Both actors portrayed the warden in Oz. Ernie Hudson and Reggie E. Kath starred together in the 1994 comedy Airheads. Oh, wow. Quinn Kearns was in Airheads, too. I know Ernie Hudson was. Now, the rest of these fun facts contain spoilers. Christopher Meloni left the show towards the end of the 4th season. He was also working on Law & Order Special Victims Unit, and he felt that he could no longer do both shows at the same time. On the show, it was explained that Keller was transferred to another prison in Massachusetts, but Meloni missed Oz and decided to return. He decided that being able to work on 2 great shows simultaneously was worth the toll that it was taking on him. The 100-minute series finale, titled Exis Umas, was Latin for all goes out. It's a theater term for indicating all characters exit stage. In the first part of the 4th season, it was explained that Officer Diane Wellesley, Edie Falco, had moved away to London. In real life, Falco had left to star in the London production of the play Sidemen, and then she went on to play Carmela Soprano in The Sopranos. 5 prisoners are executed throughout the series, run in all with different methods. Jefferson Keane and Richard Leitani die by lethal injection in season 1. Donald Groves was executed by firing squad in season 1. Shirley Bellinger is executed by hanging in season 4. Cyril O'Reilly dies in the electric chair in the series finale. Alvarez was absent for most of the first half of the 4th season because he was working on Band of Brothers. On the show, it was explained that Alvarez had escaped, and he returned for the second half of the 4th season, but shortly after that, he landed a role on Third Watch in 1999 and had to leave again. That time it was explained that Alvarez had been put in solitary confinement. With the exception of Jason Kramer and Jackson Vayu, none of the inmates who survived to the end of the series ever made it out of Oz. The ones that did were paroled. Beecher and Poet returned eventually very quickly. Jefferson Keane is executed halfway through the 1st season because the actor playing him, fuck you, play it. The Jefferson Keane is executed halfway through this 1st season because the actor portraying him, Leon, refused to commit to the series. When Leon was asked by Tom Fontana while he was being killed off, Fontana told him it was because he said he wouldn't commit to more than 4 episodes. Leon replied he thought he'd been talked out of that and actually wanted to say, and they said too fucking late. The prison was actually an old warehouse that Tom Fontana had revamped. Fontana was also able to move his production offices into the space. Fontana would renew the lease on the space 1 year at a time in case the show was canceled. During the production on the 4th season, Fontana learned that the owner of the property signed off a 10-year lease to NY1, a local New York news station. The 4th season finale was titled Famous Last Words and ends with a fiery explosion in the prison. This was so the episode could also serve as a series finale in case Fontana was unable to find a new filming location. Fortunately, Fontana found a similar looking warehouse in New Jersey and could able to continue. By the time the 4th season finale, they did not know whether they would be renewed or not, and he wrote 2 endings, one where Beecher got paroled and one where he didn't. If the show was canceled, he would end on a happy note of Beecher being paroled. The show was not renewed, and Fontana liked the sequence of Beecher being paroled so much he used it as a dream sequence that fucking got me, and fuck you. James Robson is the only member of the Aryan Brotherhood to survive to the end of the series. George Moore Giffen, J.K. Simmons, Lee Turgeson, Teen Winters are the only cast members who appear in every episode. Ernie Hudson, Terry Kinney, and Harold Pinto appear in every but one. Oz, the last episode, Oz, Bill the Wrongs, and Oz Variety. J.K. Simmons' spouse, Michelle Schumacher, made a guest appearance as Norma Clark. Oh, interesting. Their characters don't interact in any way, but they are in the episode. And there is a line about him being stricken by her cheap perfume. Inmates are never seen outdoors in the prison yard and thus are seemingly never exposed to sunlight during their time in Oz. Only scenes in which viewers are seen prisoners having daylight exercises are indoors. One exception is this one when Alvarez is shown roaming the streets in the dark at night when he escapes. After his son's death, Vern gets a tattoo that reads, Andrew and Hank, rest in peace. Adebisi left the show to work on The Mummy Returns. Kareem Saeed left the show to work on the movie Tears of the Sun. And finally, in the third season, the medical ward was privatized and taken over by a company called the Weigert Corporation. The Weigert Corporation is also the name of the company that bought the St. Elsewhere Hospital series. Creator Tom Fontana was a writer on St. Elsewhere. And that's our fun facts!
Inside a freak, Vaseline message, masturbation peak, spitting for the rear, heading for a cover. Rubbing up against me is better than another. Keep the foot locked, locks against the door. The minute you let me, my mind's a whore. Going up inside you, going all night. Yeah, that's right, bitch too tight. Scream to stop, stop in a run instead of having fun. I said wait till I come. No it hurts, no it burns.
Now, let's go over to the voicemails. I think we have a voicemail from our buddy JSM Down. Music, stop, motherfucker. Stop the fucking music. I'm sorry. Let's play Jay's message. Here we go. And, I mean, I was going to say, because I know Jay hasn't watched Oz, so I should probably just put a little bow on Oz. Oz is a 10 out of 10 series. One of the best series ever created. Superly underrated in every possible way, every way imaginable. If you haven't watched it and you like all of these actors or you just like the dark hour, gritty long show, watch it. Don't expect it to be a happy journey. Don't expect it to end necessarily happy or any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of dark fucking shit that happens throughout the series of Oz. But ultimately, in all ways, shapes, or forms, it is the building blocks on which this era of television lays. If it wasn't for Oz, then Deep Space Nine and even the impetus of St. Elsewhere before it, which ultimately led into shows like The Sopranos, which led into Breaking Bad, which led into an explosion of amazing television that we live in today in the golden age, or at least as in the book that I was telling you about, the third golden age of television that we live in right now. And I think in a lot of ways, it's all thanks to Oz. It deserves your attention. For good or for bad, even to check it out, to see some of the actors that you know that are very famous and very successful now. See where they got their start in a very theatrical kind of setup. Imagine you're watching a filmed theater show and watch the fucking brilliance that is this show. So many excellent acting performances, one-off characters, singular moments that are exceptional. Some cheesiness, some over-the-top goofiness, some hamminess, some heavy-handedness, but ultimately 10 out of 10. One of the best shows ever. Total side butthole, full spread eagle butthole. Type 10 full spread eagle buttholes. Watch this show. Enjoy it. It's dated, so if you're partial to that stuff, there's no HD version of it. It's small screen, like you're going to watch it in the box and stuff. So be prepared for that kind of stuff. But, yeah, can't recommend the show enough. One of my favorites. Oz is my favorite show of all time, pending how Game of Thrones ends, but Game of Thrones probably won't beat Oz. Debbie Downer gives it a 9.95 out of 10. If you haven't watched Oz, you must watch it. Fun facts. All right, what the fuck, Adebisi? Well, Oz was classic. One of my building block television shows. I would not be the fan of the medium that I am without a show like Oz, without the building block shows, as fucked up as it is Oz, the original 90210, Batman the Animated Series, and the fucking Justice League were all those kind of early shows for me that kind of built my, and then Deep Space Nine was the one that kind of transformed in it, and then The Sopranos, which led into like a lot of other shows after that, but it kind of all stemmed from Oz. At a point in time where I watched it, not a lot of other people were watching the show, and I still think it's an underrated show. It gets over attention by some of the explicit penis that you see in the show, or some of the silly flash violence that's completely over the top and can kind of get overlooked. The drama, the human, the explosion, the exploration of morals and and acceptance and forgiveness and doubt and fucking lots of other really deep shit. So yeah, if you like good drama and you want to see where it all came from, and the first of them's the first show that broke ground for the kind of programming that we watch now, it's going to be hard to beat Oz and The Sopranos and things like that. When I do my final top 10 list of my favorite television shows of all time, it's going to be difficult to battle how I feel about a show like Oz. I cannot go on enough about this, and I feel like it does not get enough attention, and people can watch it, and I never build things up, because someone's going to watch it and go, it's all right, it's whatever. Fuck you then. It's over the top, it's theater acting, it's fun, it's exceptional, it is fucking Oz. Watch it. So, now that we're done, weren't there full-on dongs in the opening credits? Maybe not full-on dongs in the opening credits, but as I mentioned before, I often like to sing the Oz song, which is which I joke that is all about naked men here. So let's. They really need to remaster it. The show's called Oz. Naked Man. Show's called Oz. Watch that shit. Watch that shit. Watch that shit, motherfuckers. You got HBO Go. Watch that shit.
That's the name on the street for the Oswald Maximum Security Penitentiary. Oz is retro. Oz is retribution. You want to punish a man? Separate him from his family. Separate him from himself. Cage him up with his own kind. Oz is hard times doing hard time. Timmy McManus. He created an experimental unit inside Oz. A new approach to the prison problem. Some people call it Emerald City. To me, it's a concentration camp. In Oz, the guards lock the cages and walk away. And the predators rise, take control, make the rules. But in M City, the guards are with us 24 hours a day. There's no privacy. Everybody sees what everybody's doing. Eyes are everywhere. McManus's eyes. You see, in M City, retribution gives way to redemption. Timmy Boy believes he can save every one of us. From each other, from ourselves, from the system that dumped us in here. The only thing he don't get is, you gotta wanna be saved. They call us the penal system. But it's really the penis system. It's about how big, it's about how long, it's about how hard. Life in Oz is all about the size of your...
I don't want to fight nobody!
In America, we all have certain inalienable rights. Like the right to bear arms and the right to remain silent. But the state has the ultimate right. It can kill us. Due to popular demand, Governor James Develin revived capital punishment. And he decided that Jefferson Keene, a man he doesn't know, a man he will never even meet, should be put to death. Should be put down like a rabid dog. No! You swat a fly, step on an ant, squash a cockroach, you don't think much of it. In fact, killing a bug gives you a sense of accomplishment. Fucking ant was ruining your picnic. Cockroach was crawling through your kitchen cabinet. You put an end to their disgusting, miserable little lives and make a better world for everyone. Only for every one you kill, more appear.
Hill, he controls the tone of the show and gives it that theater feel that I was talking about. he's coming off, at least at this point in time, I knew him most, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, as Mercutio in the Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, my so-called Titanic Romeo and Juliet. And I think he steals that show, him and John Leguizamo. Fuck Leonardo, fuck Claire Danes. I mean, they're all right. I think Romeo and Juliet are the most boring part of Romeo and Juliet in general. If we look at the play as a whole, Romeo and Juliet can go fuck themselves. I'm all about Mercutio and fucking what's his name? I'm blanking on the character's name. But ultimately, they're the weakest part of the whole show. But ultimately, I think he steals that show, and I think he ultimately gets Oz because of that. And he's so good at that, talking to the camera. Like, I don't know many other people that can pull that off. That is a talent into themselves. I was talking about that a lot when I mentioned the Kevin Spacey series on Netflix, House of Cards. Whatever you think about the series, Kevin Spacey is exceptionally good at talking to the camera. Not every actor can pull that shit off. Even Robin Wright Penn, in the moments where she breaks character and talks to the camera on House of Cards, spoiler alert, she talks to the camera a couple of times, she can't pull it off as well as Kevin Spacey can. And on Oz, spoiler alert, even though this is spoiler alert at all, in the last season when Hill is dead, and for a few times here and there, even though he's in every episode except for one, they have other characters doing his monologues, and they're not as good as he is either. There's a talent about breaking that fourth wall and talking directly to an audience, and he's one of the best ever at it. I don't think he's exceptionally good on Lost, and I don't think when he's playing real people, he's very believable at it. But Augustus Hill, Mercutio in a Shakespearean play, I saw him in a live performance of, I think I saw him in a Hamlet, or something. Like, he's really good in that kind of context, but he's really a stage actor, kind of like a square peg in a round hole kind of thing. When he's on TV trying to play like Michael on Lost and stuff, I don't buy that shit. But on Oz, he is so important to the tone of the show. He makes the fucking show. I hate the play Romeo and Juliet, and people who fall in love definitely for Family to Die because they couldn't wait a little bit longer. Fuck that. But Hill didn't break the fourth wall. Augustus is the Morgan Freeman of Oz. Oh, hey, Phil, I left you another voicemail. I will play it in a second. From Blu-ray, HBO would go back and rescan the film elements for HD resolution. They really need to do that. Iron Throne, I saw you post that up above. They would make more money. It serviced their HBO Go platform even better if they just updated everything to like an HD kind of thing. They really should do that. Proke says, fuck Lost. We got to do a Lost stream at some point. It's entirely possible that post the series was done on video rather than the film level, which means editing possible effect shows would be redone a la Star Trek Next Generation. You don't really get the break the fourth wall feeling. He's so good, you're just entranced in what he's saying. Exactly. He's talking to you. He doesn't create any uncomfortable feeling. He's just a comfortable narrator that's just the voice inside you watching the series. He's so fucking good in that part, and I've talked about this a couple times, who the star of Oz is, and ultimately, in a lot of ways, it is Augustus Hill. He is the voice. I want to say Toby is, but Augustus is the guy. So that is Oz. So if anyone's here just for Oz, now will be the time to check it off. I'm probably going to be on for another few minutes. Going to listen to our last two voicemails. I will still take Oz comments and questions if people want to point me in those directions, but also open for any other comments and questions right now for a little while until I have to leave this room and go into a fucking air-conditioned room. And you guys can't see it, but look, I'm fucking sweating like a motherfucker. You see this fucking shit? It's fucking hot as balls in here. He could narrate any series. They should bring him in to narrate an episode of Game of Thrones. He would actually probably be really good on Game of Thrones. Like in doing the speak, he would be very comfortable as sort of a bard or something like that, just kind of walking through in a similar way that Adebisi was on Game of Thrones as the cock merchant. I could definitely see Hill showing his face somewhere in Game of Thrones. I hope you guys did enjoy this Oz review, as this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. This isn't the last time I will talk about Oz. I'm completely open to any specific ideas to kind of explore the series more. But in general, I hope this did justice to one of, if not the best television series. Because in a lot of ways, I do think when you're first, when you do things first, when you come out there and just kick ass, there's a credit to that. And I also think the show, for me anyways, having just rewatched it and gone through it again, probably like the 7,000th time, it really does hold up for me. The acting, the performances, they hold up, they're strong. Even if some of the visuals maybe seem dated because of the way the screen looks, but eventually you get inundated to that, and it doesn't really matter. I love this series. Again, as I said, 10 full wide buttholes out of 10. Amazing. So let's listen to Jay's message, and then we'll listen to Tim's message. Here we go. Play the fucking message, ass face.
The medium that I am.
Wait. We didn't talk about Metzer. Metzer, who is Dauber from Coach. And Metzer is the Nazi guard who eventually Toby scratches his neck out with his nails. Loved Metzer, loved him on Coach. Coach is a underrated comedy series. Silliness over the top, especially Jerry Van Dyke and Dauber. Dauber's also on How I Met Your Mother. He plays Marshall's dad. Like that actor a lot. He makes me laugh, makes me smile, and he is very scary and intimidating, something he never is in anything else on Oz, and I think he is a very scary guard, and I like what ultimately happens to him and what Toby does to him. It makes me happy.
A show like Oz without
Hey Phil.
building box shows as fucked up as it is Oz. The
Top
original
two actors
Batman the Animated Series and the
from
fucking
any
Justice
show.
League.
Mine are Peter Dinklage and Jeffrey Donovan from Game of Thrones and from Burn Notice. If you ever watched Burn Notice, that show was awesome.
Top two actors from any show, I would say James Gandolfini playing Tony Soprano as so captivating to me in any way, shape, or form. I love Gandolfini as Soprano. I think no one fits a glove of a character or almost anybody on earth as the way Gandolfini plays that character. And the other one I'm going to go with is geeky, is whatever, it's Star Trek-y. It's Andrew Robinson playing Elam Garak on Deep Space Nine. Whether you like sci-fi or not, the character of Garak is a multifaceted character that plays the subtext of something and is one of the most duplicitous, side-swilling characters on Earth. He is so amazing, and the actor plays that to perfection. I cannot even begin to go into the ways that Elam Garak and Andrew Robinson perfect acting with the character of Garak. I love it. I think it's the greatest character, one of the greatest characters in all of television. And I would say number two or number one, 1A, 1B would be James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano. I think he just, again, it's just hard to beat that for me. And so yeah, those are my two. And let's go to the wonderful Mr. Tim Gersh for one more comment here. And by the way, the phone lines are still open if anyone else wants to get a couple more calls or questions in. I'll be on for a little while longer, so feel free to call in and leave any voicemail, 781-990-8509, and get you on in the line and get your voice on the live stream. So here we go. Is Tim motherfucking Gersh.
Yeah, all right, Phil. So, who would you think Saeed was for Game of Thrones?
I'm sorry, I missed that. Let's go. Let's do that one more time. One more time, motherfucker.
Yeah, all right, Phil. So, who would you think Saeed was for Game of Thrones?
Who do I think Saeed is on Game of Thrones? I think Saeed would probably be... Would Saeed be our Ned? Would Saeed be... I mean, Saeed would probably be a closest to like a Stark kind of personality. Really, really strong-willed, believes in his family and his group, believes in his code, very strong to his code, but So I would say Saeed is probably a Stark of some sort. Oh, we got Mark from Enchantment of Eternity in the live chat. You just happened to come in. I was talking about Garrick. You felt a disruptance in the force of me talking about Deep Space Nine, and suddenly Mark is attracted to the live stream. Great to see you, Mark. Travis Fimmel, Vikings, Toby, Black Sails, and Lena and on Oz. Fuck Danny, no. Let's finish this Game of Thrones beer. Let's do it. Empty this out. Save the bottle. A little bit. Ned never tortured people. Well, that's true. That's true. He didn't. Well, Saeed didn't really torture people either. Saeed maybe mentally on some level. But Saeed was all about his honor. So I would say in his belief in his what he believed in, his version of praying to the trees and shit like that. So I would say Saeed and Starky. There's some Starkness going on there. Yeah, technically Saeed hasn't either. Saeed is probably the most quote unquote honorable man. And what the fuck? Speaking of Oz, fuck Saeed when he had a chance to get out when Develin pardoned him. Wouldn't it be better to get out and he decides to stay in? I've been meaning to do my own Oz rewatch several years ago, but keep putting it off. It indeed was a great show, says Mark. Yeah, it is a lot of fucking fun. I do want to announce something right now while I think about it. Now, I was doing a video game stream, and Johnny the Irish Wildling was like, Phil, you never do Game of Thrones theory videos. What's your fucking problem? Record some audio for a theory video, and I will put together and edit a video for you. So we have a first draft of it. Johnny is finalizing it tomorrow, but I will be releasing a video with some very serious Game of Thrones theories and prediction video, a pre-recorded video that I recorded the audio, that Johnny the Irish Wildling is editing it together. It'll be a very first time I ever did a video like this, and look forward to it. It'll be coming out soon. And here's a few seconds of it.
Hi, everybody. Phil the Issues Guy. Game of Thrones Season 7 is right around the corner.
So, yeah, that's
And within this foursome, a child will be birthed.
So, yeah, so I'm not going to play a lot of it, but look out for it. It should be posted tomorrow at some point in time. And Johnny did an excellent job on the editing. I'm just fine-tuning a couple of little things, little changes, and it should be up soon. So look forward to that. Thank you. Well, ultimately, White Wolf been the same situation for 7 years either way. So it's no real differences except for that I missed my vacation. So, Phil, drink from this cup and you are now like me. Hashtag fuck lost. Some serious theories. Yep. It's going to be Johnny and I working together with a serious theory video. So I think Johnny's doing some amazing work on this video. It's going to be creepily fun. So yeah. So this is Johnny and I's first of a couple of collab type things we're going to be doing. Should be posted tomorrow. And we hope you guys enjoy it. And if you don't, tell me. If you do, tell me too. You know, here we go. Andy, have a great night. No, you fucking rock. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this ride. I'm ultimately going to be just sort of ending things pretty soon. Let's go to SM, who left us a voicemail. Let's go.
Hey Phil, couldn't let you go without getting a Game of Thrones question in. If there's a spoiler in my question, don't worry. I don't need you to answer why you think what you think. I just need you to answer with who.
Okay, prepare everyone if you're very, very cautious about Game of Thrones spoilers. Fast forward 30 seconds or push pause for 30 seconds. Here we go.
3 characters to 5 characters that will be the first ones to die in the upcoming season of Game of Thrones. All right, later.
The first characters to die this season on Game of Thrones. Okay, besides fuck all characters, I think that... Oh, shit, motherfucking cocksucking fucking mother cock, bitch. Fuck, shit, fuck cocksucker. I think Yara will die this season. I think Littlefinger will die this season. I think fucking Grey Worm will die this season. I think motherfucker. Okay, those are the only ones I'll piss off. I'll throw off right now. Maybe a couple of other ones I have hints of, but those are quick. The first three to pop in my mind. Oh my God, finally more Phil and Johnny collabs. You're spoiling less rotten. I am ultimately going to be doing a feedback show this season with Johnny and Broke. Your ass is in there too. We're going to do a feedback show with the three of us one of the weeks. I can announce that I'll be doing a feedback show with a couple of other Game of Thrones people and a couple of other YouTube people every week. But one week I definitely want to get Broke and Johnny on together. And Johnny and I will be definitely jumping on Johnny's streams pretty soon too. and he's going to be doing some editing for my theory videos if I do more of those. I think Grey Worm's toast. But spoiler talk, I saw a character will die in some sense. But to be honest, Grey Worm will die. You have sex, you die. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna have a moment with Missandei, and he's not gonna last much longer than that. Fuck Grey Worm. Grey Worm's dead. No, feedback show is gonna be sometime during the week, Broke. Either on a Wednesday, a Thursday, even a Tuesday, even a Friday, or something like that. Anytime that's convenient. And the feedback show will be, we take voicemails, texts, people that leave comments in the Discord group, in the feedback group, or send me emails or whatever. Any feedback questions we get in between the week, we don't go in with a plan at all, and we just take questions and answer people's questions. And that's it. We basically do it for like an hour and a half or something like that, and just do that. It's sort of our midweek show. I might even do more than one feedback show per week, depending on what's going on in Game of Thrones, depending on some other people's availability to be able to do things. Some people it'll be easier to get them at the last minute. Some other people it's gonna be tough, and I have to work around their schedules and stuff because they have their own videos they're doing. So there's a lot of fun people that I want to get on. Some stuff might work out, some stuff might not. That's why I'm being vague about the people that are gonna be on there. But at minimum, even if no one else can, then we'll just pop Joe on there, or some other random folk popping on in. I'm gonna try to get Tony on one, try to get Kyle on one, try to get Nick Hodges from History Buffs on one, try to get some other folks on one as well. Johnny and Broke on one, try to get David on one, try to get the last one, maybe the season finale, get Joe on. Try to get some other folks on them as well. So it's gonna be lots of fun, lots of friends joining us this season here and there. And on our recap shows, Joe will be joining us as much as he can based on work. We'll also be doing Carmine will be joining us on the recap shows, and hopefully Katie as well. And Mark from Enchantment of Eternity will be definitely joining us coming up pretty soon in Star Trek Discovery, coming up very soon. That I want to get Mark on some reviews for that and get back to some Star Trek coverage with Mark. So, and if you haven't already, definitely check out Mark from Enchantment of Eternity's channel. He covers a lot of awesome TV shows, and I pop up occasionally on Mark's channel. I was with him and Don Willie talking about the Better Call Saul season, and that was one of the most fun streams I've had in a long time. So definitely go and check that out on Mark's channel. And if you like his stuff, give him a subscribe. He is awesome fucking people. I got to admit, in some ways, I'm more excited for the Orville than I am Discovery, and I don't know what that's about. And I don't even like Family Guy. I don't even like Seth the fuckhead there. It just seems more Trekky to me. I am gonna watch Discovery. I'm going in with an open mind. I'm getting an Enterprise feel, and I don't like it. But I'm being open about it. Mark, I'm curious in the live chat because I unfortunately am not. I almost invite you in right now, but I'm on the OBS, so I can't actually invite you in Hangout wise. But I'm curious what your thoughts on Discovery are so far. But I am excited to talk about Discovery, and I'm going to be watching it. Mark should shame me for being behind in his videos, 2 episodes away from finally finishing Leftovers. Mark covers some amazing shows. He covered The Leftovers, Black Sails, things like that. Shows that I hear amazing things about, but I'm not necessarily caught up on. But again, like I said, Mark was the very first other YouTube channel to ever reach out to me and ask me to be on his channel and help promote us. So beyond that, Mark is a fucking wicked intelligent dude that has lots of knowledge about shows and stuff, so definitely check him out. And oh shit, I just got it. I just got your check you sent, Mark. I can keep talking good about you. So I just got the check. Thank you. It cleared. Oh, it cleared. Mark is fucking awesome. He's amazing. I'm trying to be open-minded too, Mark. I like the people that are working on the show. I do. I like some of the names that are behind the series, and I like what they're saying about it. I just, from the trailer that I've seen, I don't like the visual aspects of it, but they can sell me right away if they give me a good theme song. If they don't kick into a Rod Stewart song, I might be okay. Oh, we got Lola. She just woke up. I know it's a little late, but Lola, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Lola. Woo, Lola from Poland. Happy birthday to you. So yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. But so I'm trying to be I'm going to have an open mind as well. I don't want any fucking Rod Stewart music. If they give me a space, The Final Frontier. I do wish they were going in the future, but it complicates things with the J.J. Abrams situation that they might, I don't know, it complicates things. So it's harder to go into the future, and Nemesis complicates things as well. We just never will get the future of the Prime timeline, and that's kind of sad to me. I might be on pretty soon. I don't want to announce anything ahead of time, but in the next couple of weeks, I might be on with another random Game of Thrones YouTube person and talking about some Star Trek. I'm not going to say who or what, but some people that may have watched some of my guest appearances on other videos might be able to figure it out. So it theoretically coming sometime in the next couple of weeks, myself with another Game of Thrones person. And I'm also going to be a part of another big video before the season starts. I don't know how much I can talk about that as well. So expect me on some other channels as well coming up. And I'll always tell you guys, and if you haven't already, check out the Discord group and make sure you subscribe to that or join the Discord group so you can stay up to date. I post some stuff in the announcements group and all around that. And make sure you've also subscribed to the channel. I'm not quite cutting this stream off yet, but I am getting close. It's 12:49. I want to start to try to wrap up by 1. So sort of down on the last 10 minutes or so. So if anyone wants to get any last minute phone calls or questions in or last minute shots, I actually have to go and get my bottle of vodka. I owe Timo a shot from her super chat donation. So here we go. Let me, it's been a long time. Fuck you, Mark. Don't do that to me, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. You do this, Mark. Whoops, wrong song.
Now this is a story all about how Westeros got flipped.
Wrong song. Okay, here we go. Who are the biggest dick in all of the Westeros series and all of the Oz series, Tom? I'm trying to remember. It definitely wasn't Luke Perry. I'll say that for the most part. Brokebackman, will Timo be part of her show? Like, really, this needs to happen. Timo does call in from time to time. If Timo knows she always has an open door policy to a quick call into the show. But if we do that show with Johnny and you broke, Timo is absolutely invited to take part in that feedback show. In fact, we could do that first week. Episode 1 feedback show, broke Johnny and Timo. If Timo wants to be a part of that, she's more than welcome, even if she wants to just call in for a minute or two. I can announce that as week 1 feedback show. But Timo always has an open door policy to call on, and she is a producer of this show, as all our patrons are. And Timo, as our greatest patron and supporter of the show, is not just that, she is a funny ass bastard. And definitely check out Johnny's stream; she pops up there occasionally. I was listening to her last night, throwing all kinds of shade. Good stuff. I love it. So Timo, I owe you this shot because of your super chat. Here's Stark. This is to Sansa Stark because I know how much you love her. And I'm taking a fucking shot of vodka. Here we go. Oh no, you'll hate me by the end, Timo. It'll be amazing. Here we go, Timo. This is for you. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. You are amazing. You keep us going. So you know I'm fucking this all up because I should be waiting till tomorrow and the next day, the 3rd and the 4th of July to drink. But instead, I'm having, hey, you have a happy day. Hello, everybody. My name is Phil. Oh, everybody. Let me try to juggle. Fucker, motherfuckers. Oh, fuck. Fair enough, Tim. Fair enough. I have to say, I mentioned this before. This Bend the Knee Ale by Ommegang, this Game of Thrones beer, is my favorite one since Three-Eyed Raven. This is definitely one of the better Game of Thrones beers. And if you haven't already picked it up, I'm not saying it's going to be for everyone. I don't know anything about beer. People want me to do a beer cast. Matt from the Sopranos cast could probably do that. He could host it on the channel. I can't do that shit. But all I know is that shit's good. Oh shit, the vodka slammed down. Holy shit. Technically, if we don't see the alcohol poured in the cup, it didn't count. Trust me, it was real. You can trust me. Hey, I'm not telling you to, but we can actually, it's the beginning of the month, Timo, which means your patron donation has gone on through, which technically means, even though I'm not as good at it as I should be on keeping on people's rewards, every month as a patron donation, you get another spin. So you get one more spin. So let's see how it works, Timo. If you get another shot, I'll take another shot. Let's see. Yeah, Mark, it's really good. I really like it for my beer taste. It's very easygoing. It's got a very, very warm. I'm so bad at describing beer. It's got like a very warm taste, and the way it rolls across my tongue is unanimously amazing. Here we go, Timo. You win. You get a spin. Thank you for your patronage of this month. This month's donation allows me to pay my fucking cable bill. You're fucking amazing. Here we go. And there she goes. There she goes. No whammies. No whammies. No whammies. No whammies. I can't wait till I get my Plinko board. No whammies. No whammies. Definitely no shots. No shots. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. No shots. No shots. No shots. No shots. Oh shit. It landed on... It was so close. This is shot right here. It says... Review. So wait, if I donate to Patreon, then I get a wrench. You get a spin. You get a spin. Every month, all the patrons get one spin each. Quixote, did he get the eyebrow shaven up there yet? No, the eyebrow shaving is not going on the wheel. That is not fucking happening. It's not happening. I even told Stephanie, I'm like, I agreed to, if we reach 100,000 subscribers, I'll shave them on the air. She said, no, make that 1 million. Because I have to live with you afterwards. She's like, 100,000 subscribers. That could actually happen one day. That's like 10 times your subscribers. I don't think it can really happen. But if it actually happened, I could just imagine like I'm at 90,000 subscribers. I'm like, hi, and Tom and Quixote are the only ones that remember. Hey, Phil, remember you said you'd shave your eyebrows? Timo, go fuck yourself. How do you always land on shot? That's not fair. Fair enough. As I said before, I'm a man of my word. Even though I know when I shave them, they're going to grow back gray, or I'm going to grow back like this huge unibrow or something like that. I promise you, if we reach 100,000 subscribers, you will see what I look like without eyebrows. That will happen. That will happen. I will do it. I will get my eyebrows. I will show you what it looks like when I don't have eyebrows. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers. Help me lose my eyebrows. There you go. Tom's like, you're married. You already got the girl. Shave that shit. It's true. It's true. They're going to come back all gray. That's what's going to happen. But I agreed to it. If we get to 100,000 subscribers, you will not see eyebrows on me. It will happen. Do it. It grows back. It does. 8 weeks. Stephanie said, do they realize they'll have to watch you after that? Do podcasts without eyebrows? I'm like, I think that's the point. Tim's like, I used to have a unibrow. It happens. I kind of do. I have to pluck. I have to do what I got to do. Timo, do I really need to take another shot? It really landed on shot. Did I really give you that one? Thank goodness there's no other patrons in the live chat right now. Thank God Sir Ulrich isn't there. That's like, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Do I have to show you the alcohol going into the thing? See, there's alcohol in there. It's pouring in. Wait, there you go. There you go. Wait. Can you see in there? There's liquid. There's fucking vodka in there. There you go. You got your fucking donation. Here's your fucking blood shot, Timo. You win. You win. Thank you. If we do that, I'll donate to Wonderbrow to you. Hello, people. JD, great to see you. Thank you for popping on in at the end of this silly stream. Silly stream. Welcome, JD. I love how Quixote comes out of nowhere to welcome. Where we done Welcome, Broke. Welcome, Broke. I love Timo. Timo's got the sword fights. It's kick ass. Hey, JD, great to see you. Thanks for popping on in here tonight. Timo, this one's for you. Winter is coming, Timo. 2 weeks, everybody. Less than 2 weeks. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We're at less than 2 weeks of Game of Thrones premiering. The hype is fucking real. We got a lot of our friends coming home from Con of Thrones that just dealt with all that shit. I'm so fucking jealous of Tony and Kyle and all of our other friends that were at the Con of Thrones. Cannot wait till next year. Hopefully I will get to go there. But it's going to be an amazing season of Game of Thrones. And we're just about there. We can piss there. It's so fucking close. Next week, I got to go to a fucking wedding up in upper state New York. But then the weekend after that, it is fucking real. Game of Thrones is fucking coming. It's happening. Oh, fuck. I don't even want to take this shot. This shot's dangerous, Timo. I'm already somewhat spinning already Uncle Phil's ketchup couch is coming. You need a Lannister shot glass. Hashtag Team Lannister. I almost grabbed the Lannister one. Anyone who knows me knows I am. If I had to be Team One family, I'm Team fucking Lannister. I made sure that I didn't get married around Game of Thrones season. Excuse me. It was one of my few requests. And one of my side requests was, if we did get married during Game of Thrones, there needed to be a TV set up at the fucking wedding so I could watch it. I think it's too late to rewatch all Game of Thrones episodes now. I'm going to try to watch all of Season 6 again. Do a quick rewatch of Season 6. I've watched up to episode 5, I think. I need to watch the final 5 episodes. Excuse me. I do need the Lannister shot glass, but I'm just stalling because I don't want to take this fucking shot. Phil, if you don't drink, I'll slap you. Okay, Tim. Here we go. 2 in the box. Ready to go. We be fast. They be slow. Poopy. Caca. Dookie. Zippity-doo. That's not good. That's not going to end well, Tim. That's not going to end well, Timo. But you earned it. You deserved it. You have me fucking drunk. You did it. In Oz, shit gets real, everybody. I looked away, so technically I didn't see the alcohol being poured. It happened. It was real. I'm not making it up. Look at this snarl on my face. That can't be simulated. That's fucking real. That shot is not Timo certified. It needs to be done again. You guys don't want to see what will happen if that shot has to be done again. I don't even know how that shot's going to sit in 5 to 10 minutes. It's fucking dangerous. It doesn't count. You guys are evil. You guys are fucking evil. I just got to finish the last sip of this Game of Thrones beer. This fucking 9% alcohol Game of Thrones beer. I had like 1 beer tonight and 2 shots, and I'm way too drunk for... Tim, I didn't really get a chance to read your message. Let me take a look at it. Where is that shit? Since you're a Deep Space Nine fan, did you think of him personally? I had the right look since he's half Arabic, half British. I believe Saudi Arabic, North Africa, but he's probably the worst to act in that role. I thought I have seen him more in Deep Space Nine, blah, 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 blah. Now, the original series, all the voices didn't count. Bashir plays Raj? Where and what? What did I miss Bashir playing Raj Al Ghul in? I do look moderately tanned. I don't go outside a lot, but I'm still tanned from vacation. I do need to go outside more. I don't go to the beach sometimes. Because where Steph goes to the beach, I don't like that particular beach. So I'm like, fuck you, I don't want to go to the beach because I don't like your beach. But thank you. I am a little tan. Just 9%. Come on, beer. Julian is Raj on Gotham. I'm not caught up with Gotham. I am way behind. But that's awesome. I mean, I could see him playing that part. It's for the babies. I love you, Lola. Lola, you make me smile. How many shots till you start showing some tan lines, Phil? Hey, Tom. The super chat button is right there. You can take your chances on the magic wheel. Probably one more shot and I'd be taking my shirt off. It is fucking hot in here. No one wants to see that, though. Do I want to lose all my subscribers if I took my shirt off? I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up on Gotham. But that is awesome to know that Julian plays Raj. The problem with Gotham was I deleted one episode and Stephanie demanded that we're not allowed to watch the season because she can't miss one episode. So we have to wait until the entire series is on Netflix to catch up on this past season of Gotham. But, I mean, Gotham's one of those shows that I definitely really like, even though it's not one of my favorite shows on television. There's enough good stuff going on in that show that keeps me interested and keeps me going. And the less I think about it as a Batman show, the better. Two in the box. Let me finish. One last sip. This beer is amazing. I don't want it to be gone. Fuck you. I gotta go out and get more Game of Thrones beer. Ah, motherfucker. Ah. But yes, Bend the Knee. Very good. If you haven't already, I highly recommend it if you're into tasty beer, if that's your fucking thing. If not, go fuck yourselves. Now, thank you to everyone that checked out this stream. I probably should start to wrap things up. It's 1:08. I said I wanted to stop things at 1. No one wants to see a silly, drunk me. That's not what you want to see. Someone's tuning in for the first time right now is like, I want to see an Oz review. Oz rules. Watch it more. It's fucking awesome. Write a letter to HBO. Tell them to give an HD version of it. It needs to happen. Oz rules. I am very excited to eventually catch up on Gotham. I think there's enough good stuff on that show to keep me going, and I can't wait to kind of catch up on what the hell is going on it. Because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, good and bad. I think Gotham is a show of extreme highs and extreme lows. And I think the high points are very exceptionally done, but the low points are cheesy and shitty. So, but it is a show I really like. I watched episode 1 on the first day it aired. So then I did a review right afterwards. So it's a show that I definitely follow and I have some investment in. So I can't wait to catch up on that eventually. It's true, Tom. It will be. Thinking about getting another bottle to drink, one now and then one for the premiere. That's what I'm thinking too. I also have the Game of Thrones red wine. Thinking about drinking that during the premiere. It's been a while since I had some wine. It might be a good opportunity to test that out. Theoretically, a store close to me has more Game of Thrones beer, so I'm gonna go and try to buy a couple of bottles tomorrow or over the what fucking day of the week is this? After the holiday. 1:30 is coming around. Don't break the tradition now. Quixote, it's 1:30. I want to stop this stream at right about 1:30. That is true. Here we go. So, everybody, it's as good as time as any to start to try to wrap shit up. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this stream, I highly recommend hitting that subscribe button. Join us for all sorts of fun. We'll be releasing another video tomorrow, Game of Thrones theories. I'm very curious what some of you guys are going to think about that video. So please share your thoughts in the comment section when we release that. If you're watching this later, thank you so much. You guys have Monday off or Tuesday. I think people just basically have one day have Tuesday off. Stephanie has Tuesday off, not Wednesday. But the 3rd is more my family cookout. So tomorrow I'm going to like my family party and all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, we leave before the fireworks and we come home for Lotus. And then the 4th, Steph will go out on a boat and watch the fireworks. And I will stream some Zelda on July 4th. So if anyone wants to watch some Zelda streams, check out Dirty Issues. And I'll be doing some streaming on July 4th. Yeah, every day is off when you're a dirty hippie. But no, have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out this Oz live stream and this silly after show. Thank you to Timo for the Super Chat donations and her Patreon patron donation this month to get me even more drunk. I'm so lucky I'm getting out of here before anyone else donates or anyone else makes me spin that fucking wheel again and take another shot, because that would be fucking out of control. Everybody, love you guys, and I will talk to you guys next time. Where the fuck is the music? Have a good night, everybody. Play the fucking music, asshole, and be out. Where is it? There it is. Here's a little motion is the potion to rock your ass, man. Talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.
Proper motive. I tend to dare and think it through. A pressure will pass, sense could last. Nothing is a token, this world will be broken. It's good that you go to get out. Talent drop out, words are brought out. Word of a boy, I pass out. A lot of tempo, you gotta be brave. The people who play it won't be safe. Don't stop, I'll flip my head. Don't stop, I ain't no slave. The only thing that I will survive, that is age. Don't stop, I'll flip my head. Don't stop, I ain't no slave. The only thing that I will survive, that is age. Rust is not a must. Though you might wanna regulate trust, sit up, you might get thrust. Off your metal, I cause you trouble. Go right ahead, live in your bubble. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Motion is the potion to rock your ass, man, so looking for you. Winding up like a spiral staircase, mount to the bottom of the floor. Find all the hope of the sinister man melted at your door. Rust is not a must, though you might want to regulate trust. Set up, you might get thrust. Off your metal, I cause you trouble. Go right ahead. rock your ass, man.